hello all of my awesome, beautiful, amazing friends out there. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that life is treating you all well. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. We are streaming on a Tuesday yet again, and I think this is going to be our stream time going forward.
Our Attack the Talk Tuesdays.
It'll be Attack the Talk
Tuesdays.
So we've had the last 2 weeks. We've had the live streams on Tuesdays, as well as the episode being published on Tuesdays. So yeah, Attack the Talk Tuesday seems very fitting.
And I'll try to be better about the polls and Q&As. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll try to be better as a group because it's something that we try to go ahead and collectively decide. And Titan Tuesdays.
Titan Tuesdays, basically, man.
Yeah, Titan Tuesdays, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, we try to come up with some good questions, even when we stream live. Like, we try to come up with some good, deep thinking ones.
Even then, guys, like if we're asking questions on the podcast and you're watching it later, shoot us a DM with your answer. Just like, you guys asked this question on the podcast. Here's my answer. We'll just shout you guys out at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, that'd be awesome too. Yeah, I mean, never be shy to go ahead and reach out to us. I know that one of us will probably see it. I know that I'm just gonna say I'm bad when it comes to social media and seeing your guys' responses and stuff. I know that you guys do a better job, obviously, but we'll see if Jacob joins us in this stream. But Jacob went ahead and I finally reached out to him. He sent a nice message from last week's stream, and I finally got back to him today. A whole week later.
Well,
but
stay busy.
I wanted to make sure that I saw it.
That you
the suspense that I literally was talking about that I absolutely hate. But I really appreciate the message. Jacob is an awesome dude, and also another friend that we have that joins us on a regular basis, and hopefully we get to see Jacob. But again, yeah, we have Lo here with us. Asked Lo how his weekend was, and Lo said that Lo went to a friend's wedding, and again, congratulations.
So congrats.
Pretty sick.
Weddings are always fun. Weddings are fun, especially when there's open bar. I remember, because I don't drink anymore, but I remember when you had that open bar. It's
a great time.
The wedding is just a whole other level. You know, like as soon as you get to that reception and you're just like, all right, let loose and stuff. Got some good music going on, good food, open bar. I mean, the only thing that can go wrong is if people are angry drunks.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you got family fighting, you got people fighting, you got people flirting.
What's a wedding without
all
a
that
good
stuff?
fight?
All that.
What's a family gathering without a good scrap?
It's all part of the memories. You know, the next day you have awesome stories and stuff.
Has something.
You gotta have some sort of drama there.
So you don't have to tell us any of the drama, Lo, and we don't want to hear it here. You keep that to yourself. I'm kidding. There's no reason to go ahead and spill any tea like that, but hopefully the wedding was fun. But thank you so much, Lo, for joining us here live. Yeah, we're going to continue on with the story, guys. This is season 3, episode 20. The episode's name is That Day. This will be part 3 of our episode breakdown discussion. So this episode is actually going to be broken down into 4 parts because there's a lot to digest in this episode. We did a shorter episode last week because we wanted to kind of set the table, as we explained, just to get an introduction to the Restorationists. We'll go ahead and we'll do a recap on that. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and cover some more important details, some more crazy moments that happen here in this episode that have huge implications in going forward in the story. And it's so crazy to say going forward in the story because it's all stuff that we saw really early on in the series. So like, for example, we're covering a moment here in Attack on Titan where we're talking about moments that took place in the past, stuff that we haven't seen before, but we saw how everything was affected as early on in season 1. So
like we eventually know how it plays out, but
yeah, we know how it plays out.
What started it?
Exactly.
Like how it, the journey. We don't know the journey.
We don't know the journey. We just know what happened.
We got a bit more world building done about our origins and everything, which is really nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool to go ahead and now get into the details and stuff and understand, as Grisha describes, the real truth of this world. And we find out that the truth of this world is that this world is it's a scary world, as if we didn't know that already with Titans, but we come to find out how scary the people are. Yeah. So you know, we're understanding the history, we're understanding the two sides from, you know, Marley's point of view and the Eldians. So we're going to continue to get to know more about that and more about the Restorationists and their goal. We got a little bit of that as well last week, and you know, again, Zach did an awesome job of really kind of explaining to us as Grisha's father, you know, the history from one point of view. And then we have Grisha, who gets recruited to go ahead and be part of the Restorationists from this random, you know, patriot named Grice. Another name that we come to find out later on, much later on in Attack on Titan. But Grisha fully embraces and becomes very dedicated to this cause, and we learned about the history of Ymir, the founder, and what Ymir really wanted to go ahead and accomplish for not just the Eldians of royal blood, but also just the people as a whole. So which side is right? I mean, we don't know. We don't know the true details. We didn't live through it while we're getting into these point of views. Yeah. But you have some that are Eldians, some that are Marlians, some that are Jaegerists, some that are Island Devils. You just don't know. At the end of the day, we're all human. Unless you're a Titan and you're a warrior.
Yeah.
Speaking of warriors, we're going to find out more about what goes into becoming a Titan warrior. A little bit. We'll learn a little bit more about that. We know that people are chosen to be Titan warriors, but maybe they're not just people. Maybe they're a specific type of people. Like I said, we're getting to know more about it. We want to, of course, give our spoiler warning to our friends right at the get-go, because, like we mentioned,
you're gonna get spoiled, bro.
We talked about how we got there, or I should say, we talked about the destination. We don't know the journey. Like Lexi said, literally, we met the friends, but we don't know how we met them.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you
have these friends, but where
you're in my life, but how the hell did I meet you again?
Yeah, where did you come from?
Where did you come from?
Yeah, you got dropped beginning of the story with your friends on an adventure.
Yeah.
That's it. They're just your friends. That's all you know.
And it's a fun adventure, but you want to realize more about your friends. Just get to know more about them. But yeah, we do have a Q&A to go ahead and talk about as well.
Yep.
It's a Q&A we asked you guys last week. We might have actually talked about it before in the past, but because it's on topic, it's on the same. I should say it's on theme with the unfortunate truth that we got last week. What happened to Grisha's sister Faye? That was another gruesome realization, and like Grisha said, the truth of this world, and come to find out how ruthless some of these officers can be. But yeah, I'm excited to see what responses we got. But at this time, I want to go ahead and of course welcome you all. You guys know us. I'm AJ. I have Lexi and Zach here with me, and I want to go ahead and ask my friends how they're doing. So I want to ask Lexi, how are you doing?
I'm doing
How's your week
great.
going? Anything fun this weekend?
I kind of just chilled this weekend. I kind of binged some Halo with Dad.
With Dad? Yeah, Dad was saying that you're really liking it.
I only have one episode left. And
really?
that's it.
Oh, wow. So really did binge it. That's really cool because I know
we
that
watched
this is
a
something
lot. I think on Friday or Saturday. Friday or Saturday
Those are
night,
always such good
we watched
binge days.
because every episode is around 45 minutes. I think we watched 3-4 episodes.
Oh wow! Yeah, so
got a movie.
You were like Grisha.
there.
Yeah.
You fully dedicated yourself. Yourself.
Because I was I got nothing to do. Play another.
Yeah, you're like I'm a Spartan now. So.
No, honestly, I was like play another.
That's cool.
I will say I did like season 1 more than season 2, but
Really?
I'm not done with season 2 yet. So
yeah,
I
that's
have
true.
one episode left. It's
they
still
can
good.
go ahead and end it with a big kind of cliffhanger, or maybe it's a big moment that can go ahead and
We're in a
leave
big
you wanting
battle
more.
right now. So
Cool.
other than that,
Awesome.
Just been chilling?
Yeah, I've been chilling. Hung out with Luca on Sunday because he had just gotten back from the Bay area.
That's right. I remember last week you said that he was going to the Bay.
Yeah, he left Thursday morning, came back. He left Sunday, 4 a.m.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because one of his friends that he went with had work at 12. But
man.
that friend who had work drove the whole way.
Oh wow.
Drove all
So
5
just
hours.
to kind of give some explanation and context, and then so that's what are we looking here? Is that 4 hours?
5 hours, almost
5 hours?
6 if there's traffic,
Okay.
but around 5 hours.
Well, that early, I would imagine that obviously you kind of
it was around
avoiding
5
some
hours.
traffic.
Yeah.
But he went with some friends because his roommate Willie lives.
Tiber.
Yeah, he lives. He's originally from the Bay Area, so they stayed at his mom's house. So that was nice.
Very cool.
Oh, that's
And then
dope.
played some nine-man volleyball, and yeah, we.
I'm okay right now.
It ended
Thank
up
you,
just being a nap date. I came over and we just napped because obviously he was.
Well, he was up
tired.
super early.
Yeah, so we just kind of
Like, even then,
I can always nap, so I was
Being
like,
kind of
okay,
stuck in a car for that long too,
yeah.
Like you would think that, was he sleeping the entire ride because he wasn't driving? But sometimes you can't just really peacefully sleep.
Yeah.
I think he
Sometimes you're
slept
just,
for, like-
half sleep.
I think he slept for a little bit of it, but I mean, it was also his car, and he's very tall, and it's a fairly
So he has
small
a smelly.
car.
Okay.
So, and they also had all of their luggage and everything, all their bags. So, but
He got back safe, which is good.
yeah, so we kind of just
Nap
napped.
dates are always nice.
And we just napped and played Fortnite, I think, honestly.
Very cool.
And yeah, it was good.
Right on.
Had a good week. Pretty good.
Love it.
Dope.
All right, Zach. Anything fun? How is your week going so far? You know, like I said, it's Tuesday. Anything
good.
cool happened yesterday? And then what about your weekend?
It was Cinco de Drinko this weekend. That was
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I went out with a couple coworkers
Very
for
cool.
Cinco de Drinko. Got a couple drinks. Drive safe, responsibly,
Drink responsibly.
please.
Of
Drink
course.
responsibly. Don't drink and drive. But yeah, Lola got back from Greece, so I spent
That's
some
right.
time
I
with her
remember
catching up.
Friday, she got back. Yeah,
So
very
that
cool.
was nice. We got
You
to
got
catch
your car
up.
back as well.
I got my
remember
car back.
You were more excited. I remember you were more excited
More
about
excited
your car.
about the
I got my car back.
Yeah, obviously you were very excited for both. But
Yes, I was very excited for both.
but yeah, so very cool.
That's
and
nice.
Yeah. Did she talk about Greece? Just let you know how Greece was? I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you
mean,
guys
she
were
was
talking about-
she was kind of talking to me throughout the trip, which
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I like being kept in the loop.
Yeah,
But
of course.
she had a great time. She brought me a little gift. She got me a little bracelet with a little.
Very
instead of an
nice.
evil eye, they call it a good eye.
Okay. Very cool.
Oh.
So yeah,
Some
so
protection.
She put a
Yeah.
tracker on you. Very cool.
Yeah, I got a GPS chip in there.
Yeah.
Got my location 24/7
There's
now.
a camera, a microphone.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. She can hear exactly
She can
what we're
see
saying
straight
now.
through the
Hi,
eyes. Say
Lola.
hi,
No, I'm kidding.
everyone.
Imagine.
That's crazy. But no, I mean, yeah, I just relax. I've been trying to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you're still on that grind.
Yeah, I was telling you guys, yeah.
It seems
Season
like every
6.
week I remember when you first started binging it, well, you were kind of letting us know that you were starting to. You're like, oh, I think I'm going to watch it. Okay, very cool. And then the following week, you're like, yeah, you know, I'm getting ready to, I just started season 2. And then I think last week you were like talking about how you're getting into, I think, close to season.
I was like end of season 4,
yeah,
early
end of
season
season 4,
5.
season 5. And
No, I'm like-
now you're season 6, halfway
Yeah,
through,
early
probably.
mid season 6.
Early
Yeah,
mid? Yeah.
I'm invested. But I had to watch. What did I watch? I watched Bridgerton because I was asked to.
Yeah.
Because the new season's coming out, so I watched that.
Yeah.
The My Hero episode dropped this weekend.
Okay.
We finally got some action, which was
Very
Little
cool.
nice, little
Have you started
saucy.
watching that, Lex, or no?
No, but I heard that it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I heard it's getting pretty
I
good,
remember a
so
couple
I
weeks
need
ago
to
you
get on
asked me
that.
for permission to go ahead and venture on.
And I was like, is it okay if I
Before
watch
we
it
would go
without
ahead
you?
and we would watch My Hero, but I mean, for me, I'm just like, you know, it's tough to go ahead and really.
Plus, we're both
get the
busy
binge
people.
time.
It's hard for us to be home at the same time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just like kind of like how we set the table last week.
Lowe's
It's kind of
asking
like.
how many seasons does My Hero have?
Oh,
Sorry to
I think
interrupt
this
you.
is
Just-
season
6?
7 right now.
7.
Okay, so 7.
We're
Damn.
on season 7.
Awesome. Lo, have you started it? Kind of curious.
Yeah, if you haven't, I'd suggest you do. It's
Yeah.
pretty good. Just
Yeah.
don't get too thrown off by the fan base. But yeah, I mean,
So you said just like how we kind of set
yeah,
the
we
table.
set up the table last week, and it's kind of like what My Hero's been doing for.
Oh, okay.
For season, it's like season 7 is gonna be kind of like the setup for Endgame, from what I'm assuming.
Oh, okay.
Because right now, manga, we're Endgame, bro. We're like, we probably don't have. I hope we don't have much left because I don't want it to drag out from where it is. I like where it's at right now.
Oh, very cool.
But yeah, exciting things for season 7. Especially, we had like, I think it was like 2-3 episodes of like basic seasonal recap for like everything they've been doing, and now we're hitting it for season 7. Now we're getting our good
Yeah, My
stuff.
Hero has a. That's the one thing I don't really like about My Hero. They do a lot of recap, a lot of repeating, which I mean is good and bad. But if you're binging, it's annoying. But if
Yeah.
you're actually watching as it's coming out, then it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, at
But-
least if you're binging, that means you probably have access to pass it.
Yeah. So in Lowe's case, who Lo said has not seen it. So Lo
Yeah.
would be able to go ahead
Yeah.
and kind of, you know,
Yeah, that
whether
was a great time
Lo
to get
decides
into
go
it.
ahead and you know, watch the recap or skip the recap. You know, but
Yeah.
definitely recommend you watch it. I think that is the first anime that Lexi got me to go and watch to kind of introduce me back into the anime world.
Yeah, because you were. This was during the time of COVID where you
Yeah.
were like, oh yeah, you should watch Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, okay, sure. Watch some of it, and I was like, this is
Very
so
much
slow.
90s, very much slow, very much even then we know obviously the whole art style is much different, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah,
It's just pretty dated, which is not necessarily bad. It just depends on what you're looking for. But then, yeah, that's when I was like, oh, you should try watching My Hero. I just started watching it and I really like it. You should try watching it.
Yeah.
And then now we're here.
Yeah. Season 1, season 2, like fire. They were great seasons. They got me hooked in. Especially the season 2 got me hooked in pretty deep.
Yeah.
But I suggest you give it a shot, Lo. It's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
If you want to read the manga, it's pretty killer. I suggest you at some point sit down and start catching up. It's pretty nice.
I have a lot to catch up.
Pretty good stuff.
Lo, is there something you're like watching right now currently? Something that, 'cause I know sometimes you can go ahead and be like, oh, I'm not watching My Hero because I'm watching something else. So kind of curious, Lo, if you're like, if you're watching another anime, if you're watching multiples at a time. For myself, I can't. I've said it before plenty of times over in the podcast. I can't multitask with my anime. I can't go ahead and try to focus on one and then the other.
Multitasking on shows is hard.
You know,
I'm trying to do that right now with Halo and Korra. Thankfully, Halo's about to end,
Yeah.
and I just got to season 3 of Korra, so I'm figuring that out. And I still need to watch.
Exciting.
I still need to watch. Jujutsu. I was literally about to say that. I still need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. I've only seen season 1. I still need to watch that.
Kaisen season 2.
Season 2,
and I still need to watch My Hero.
Season 2 is great.
I've been trying to avoid spoilers as much as possible, but
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it's difficult as all hell.
it is so hard.
They're everywhere.
They
That's
are.
like the one manga fan base that just does not give
they're
a
just
shit.
Yeah,
They
I
don't
know.
care at
I'm like,
all.
okay.
But yeah, if you're gonna watch season 2, when you're watching it, there's a fight between two characters, and one's a white color, and then one of them is, you'll know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But there's a Blu-ray release. Watch the Blu-ray release after you watch it.
Okay.
You'll probably see it when you're somewhere on social media. There's a Blu-ray version of it. So much better.
Yeah, it'll probably, because right now, thankfully, it hasn't been on my TikTok a whole lot because I purposely have been skipping any Jujutsu Kaisen anything.
You gotta train your algorithm, baby.
Yeah, so that I'm not getting spoiled. Trying to train my algorithm. But yeah, I have that. I have My Hero.
Yeah.
And then I'm so excited for the eventual season 2 of Chainsaw Man.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
I'm
great.
still
I'm ready
waiting.
for what's it called? Oh my god, Hell's Paradise.
I've heard that one's good. I haven't seen that
Oh,
one.
it's so good.
It's crazy how much good content
anime
there is
out
out there, you know, whether it be something anime related or even just you're talking about just like with, you know, Halo or, you know, Game of Thrones.
I just got into
Game of Thrones.
Lola just made me watch the first episode of Witcher, which
Oh my gosh, I need to watch Shogun
I love
too.
the Witcher series. Oh my god, I've been hearing so much about
I heard
Shogun.
Luca raves about it. I swear, Luca loves Shogun, and I haven't seen any of it. So,
I have so much to watch. There's so much to watch.
and he just finished JoJo, and I haven't seen it. Not just finished JoJo, but he's like gotten through the good meat of it, and I like have no idea what's going on there. We only watched like the first 9 episodes, and we're
Yeah, it was
I've
like
never
season
watched
1.
the Crusaders
The Crusaders.
season 2.
Yeah. See, there's so much.
You guys don't even know Starfall Crusaders. That's crazy.
There's
Zawaldo.
go ahead and watch.
Zavado.
Yeah, right on. So glad to hear that you guys are both doing well.
How are you
and
doing,
for you,
our host?
AJ.
Tries to get out of it.
We have so much to talk about, guys. No, I'm kidding.
How was your
No,
weekend?
weekend was really good. I know this wasn't weekend involved, but this was the day after we streamed last week. But Wednesday, I went to Disneyland with my girlfriend. It was her birthday. And we were there all day, and Disneyland's a lot of fun.
What was your favorite ride of the day?
Favorite ride for both of us, of course, was Radiator Springs Racing. You know, the Cars ride.
Awesome.
And that one is just it is worth the wait. I mean, it's just it's cool. It's a lot of fun. Pirates was great. Indiana Jones was great. Haunted Mansion was closed because they're currently doing they're just, I guess,
Doing
getting ready, maybe.
renovations,
Yeah, I think so. But probably getting ready too for the seasons or whatever and stuff.
Vacuuming up the ashes, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Replacing the urns.
But yeah, and then we went on, you know, just cute rides like Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and we did Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, of course. It's fun. And then even the one over in Marvel in California Adventures, Web Slingers.
Oh, I haven't gotten to do that one yet.
That one's
I
cool.
haven't been on Avengers Campus at all
it's
yet.
crazy how, you know, it's also pretty much you're in this kind of like box, right? Sitting down, much like the Guardians ride, where it's kind of just like almost like a lift.
Okay.
But instead of it obviously going up and down, you know, it's on a track.
Yeah.
And then, so you're going around with these like 4D experience. And the way it's set up in front of you over in your kind of like little lift, you're like a capsule, I guess is what you could kind of call it. you have a screen in front of you and it detects your motion. It's all motion detection, you know?
That's dope.
So literally, you're just able to just do that. Boom, 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 boom.
That's cool.
And it captures your motion, and you're able to go ahead and you know, get these like rogue
Did
like
it feel cool?
spider bots.
Did it feel cool?
It did feel cool. I will admit that that my girlfriend Ronnie did kick my ass in that. But also, I will say that also it was, you know,
Good job, Ronnie.
It was all in good fun because I kept telling her like,
Nice job.
I kept telling her like, baby, get the little ones, right there, baby, right there, like all the little bots. But I was trying to focus on the big bots, you know?
It is like, you take care of the ads, I'll take care of the boss.
But, I mean, all those little tiny spider bots all added up, so she kicked my ass.
I'm sure those ones cost probably like, the ones probably cost more because they're smaller targets, huh?
What's that, bro? I'm sorry.
They probably cost more because they're smaller targets.
Probably. I don't know how it all worked out, but yeah, I mean, she killed a lot of them. And the thing is,
She's
too,
just
is that
better.
for anybody that goes on that ride,
It could be true.
there's a lot of them. And maybe I was thinking, you know, maybe she's better than me. But then I think back to how I kicked her ass in Astro Blaster. I was like, nah, there's no way. There's no way.
You guys are 1-1.
No, she
I'm
actually.
hearing you guys are 1-1 and she got her
She
get back.
actually
is what I'm hearing.
let you win
Yeah.
that one. She didn't want to make you feel too bad.
Yeah.
I heard that Robin just got her get back. So run it for round 3.
Yeah, so Disneyland's fun. We had an awesome dinner reservation, over at in an Italian restaurant over in Disney California Adventure. Yeah, it was just awesome. Yeah, we were there till it closed.
Did you
They
guys
do
go to,
fireworks during the week. They do fireworks on
Mm.
weekends, but instead they do like one of those kind of like those what do you call them? More like those shows that they do where they have it projected over on. So they had it
the
projected
water?
over on the
World of Colors?
Well, it wasn't in the water. It was projected over on the It's a Small World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was just, you know, a variation of Disney characters, and it had like a nice little kind of uplifting song playing in the background and stuff, you know, and so
cute.
me and Ronnie were like, instead of like watching
What
this,
is it?
let's try to go ahead and go on all the rides we kind of missed out on. And the thing is, you kind of have to go ahead and strategize with the rides you want to go on because obviously, you know, with rides.
You have the app that you could see the waiting time.
Yeah. So a lot of the wait times was like 45 to 50 minutes,
Yeah.
even for midweek, you know.
Yeah, even on a Wednesday.
And realizing too, like, we're walking around and I'm hearing people like parents telling their kids like it's okay, we'll go on this ride next week, okay? And I'm like, you know, Disney passes, you know, they have
Yeah.
Disney passes.
Next week.
So
Pass holders are crazy, bro.
but yeah, I mean, so we went on quite a few good rides. I mean, It's a Small World is a classic. That one is for as kind of like slow as it is. I guess that makes sense because it is a slow ride, but it's a long ride, you know, like you're sitting in the little canoe for a while. And I didn't know this, but I guess they added in, you know, more stuff. They added in like a bunch of different Disney characters and stuff.
Oh.
It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go revisit it. I haven't been on It's a Small World in at least like maybe a decade.
Yeah, I was gonna say almost a decade.
I went on it
maybe
like
8
once as a
years.
kid and I was like, this is forever.
Yeah.
It's
it's
not
cool.
fast enough.
Lo says my favorite Cars line. Someone mentions the Piston Cup, and Mater says he did what in his cup?
He did one in his cup.
You need a water's cup. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and that's one thing too is that
Dang, I
I
gotta
kind
go
of
to
gave
Disney.
Ronnie a little bit of heads up of what to expect in the ride, and she was tripping out over on just how everything is so like pretty much the mechanics of it all and stuff, you know.
It's loud.
And
bro.
one thing she was tripping out on too was in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and how they're able to go ahead and have like the moonlight and the cloudy skies and stuff. And
Yeah,
all
make
that,
it
right?
seem like you are outside, but
Yeah.
underground.
Yeah, and so I mean it's crazy. It's really
And
cool.
then Tiana's Bayou
Yeah,
yeah.
ride
they're
is
working on
coming
that
out,
right
and
now,
those
too.
animatronics look crazy.
Yeah, they
look so
had
good.
That whole area obviously all fenced off,
Mm-hmm.
on it and stuff, you know.
What is her name? Mom.
Did you
Is
guys-
it Mama Odie? I think that's her name.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that
The
movie.
witchcraft.
Yeah, Mama Odie.
Mama Odie. She looks insane.
Really?
They're using it's the new type of animatronic technology that they used for
For like Avatar.
they used for the shaman and at Avatar,
Avatar, yeah.
where that looks insane.
Yeah.
So it's really crazy. Dang, I gotta go to Disneyland. I got a couple of friends that work there, and they always tell me, "Hey, I could take 2 people for free every month." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
That's the one thing too.
I don't know why I don't ever plan for us to go.
You mentioned
Yeah.
that, and so me and Ronnie were like, hey, maybe we can go back again in a couple months, you know, with you guys. It'd be cool to go
Yeah.
in like July or something.
Because I was going to say, because Lola, I've told AJ, Lola works at one of the poolside bars for the hotels.
Oh, dang,
So-
that's cool.
Yeah, I know she's been talking about how the pass holders, they've been fighting to be like, the employees are taking our days. So they like kind of cut back on the employees' days. But Everything will get worked out.
Yeah.
That's the goal. I want to be able to take all the friends out.
It'd be cool to go ahead and like do a little double day Disney.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
The thing is, just give me and Ronnie some time a little bit because we're like a little Disneyed out. We don't know how people go ahead and do it. Where it's like you guys go like for that family every week.
I know.
That's insane.
But also, I'm guessing they were young kids, right?
Yeah, they were young.
That's probably why.
Yeah, like when I was younger, when I was like elementary school, that's when we had passes. Back when it was like $50-$60.
Yeah.
But like even then, like I didn't want to go. Even as a kid, I didn't want to go every fucking week. I was like, I want to walk all day. That's time.
Yeah.
You're not gonna push me in the stroller all day, so I don't want to go.
I know exactly.
Crazy.
That's true. All the walking can be crazy.
Yeah. Hey, did you guys go to Galaxy's Edge?
Walking, the
see Star
people.
Wars Land.
We did, yeah. So we walked around, and that's one thing that Ronnie wasn't able to go ahead and see it the last time she was over at Disneyland, which was again a long time ago. That's when I think they were working on Star Wars Land. She was tripping out on just the landscape and how it was all built and stuff, and how it really feels like you're literally walking like on set.
That's what I told Lola. There's so much depth to it.
Yeah.
The layering that they go back with the whole facade is so intense. Even Cars Land, when they first did Cars Land.
She was tripping out on Cars Land. That had just how literally the rock formations.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember when they first built it because I think I've mentioned this to you guys. Like I was there for the commercial. Dude, I walked in. I was like, whoa. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Springs,
they really know what they're doing. The Imagineers
amazing.
Are truly imagining.
Yeah. So Disneyland and California Adventures on Wednesday for her birthday, and then on the weekend on Sunday we had a Cinco de Mayo. We went to a nice Italian restaurant with her family to celebrate, just her birthday again. Nice little birthday dinner.
Aww.
And we were over at this cool little Italian restaurant called Maggiano's in Woodland Hills, and really, really good.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's attached to a mall, but the mall is non-functioning. It's literally just like an empty.
It's attached to a warehouse.
Yeah, and that's like that.
I
that
think
restaurant,
that's really cool, though.
That restaurant outlived the mall. Like literally, it's the only thing there in that lot.
I think that I actually really like. I love visiting like places that could be seem as what's the word? I can't talk right now. I like visiting places that seem as though they are liminal spaces. I really enjoy stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like abandoned malls are like perfect
It's crazy
for that kind of
because
stuff.
like her dad was joking over like on the other side over that wall with the empty mall. It was like that's the apocalypse.
Yeah, I like that.
You got walkers walking around over there.
Yeah.
And it's
feels
funny
like
too.
walking through Puente Hills every now and again, bro.
We're joking around about the calamari. They're like, yeah, the calamari is really good. Like they're big freaking fried pieces. I wonder what they are. He's like, oh, it's just Bill the walker who's over there.
Yeah, it's just that guy Bill.
They go and they just capture a couple different people and they go and fry them up. But no, it was fun.
It's crazy.
The everything on the play was amazing. Her brother Ralphie took a little candid pic that Ronnie sent me. I'll show you, and you guys can get an idea as far as what we ordered, what was on the plate, or what was on the table, I should say, and how I look like I'm getting ready to say grace, but.
Yeah, no, you look like you're so ready to just.
Just go ahead and dig in, right? You gotta, bro.
You know what you are, bro? You look like a fly.
I'm ready for food.
Just getting ready to.
Everything was phenomenal, and it was a great time spent with her family celebrating Ronnie's birthday. So
that's nice.
Yeah, so nice weekend. And
also, Lo, that's impressive. Disneyland Hong Kong.
Let me go ahead and talk about that for sure.
Dope, dude. That's dope.
I've only been to Disneyland Hong Kong is a flex.
So, Lo, would you be able to go ahead and explain? Like, I understand that Disneyland Hong Kong is it's bigger, right? Is it bigger? Do we know if it's bigger? And like, what are some of the attractions that I kind of just want to know a difference between what they have over in Disneyland or in Disney World? Obviously,
Disney World's the big kahuna.
Big, yeah. A little snusher to the size comparison, yeah.
Yeah, because Lo hasn't been to the other parks, so I guess they can't compare.
That's true. That's a good point. But that's pretty awesome. Yeah, Disneyland Hong Kong. That's definitely something on the bucket list.
Yeah, that's a goal of mine.
And how did that come to be? Did you just decide to go ahead and visit Hong Kong, and Disneyland was just kind of on the list? Either way, that's amazing. But yeah, so glad to hear that we're all doing well. Like I said, we have a lot to cover, and we have a Q&A, right?
Yep.
So yeah, Lo says went to Hong Kong with family as a kid. Awesome. I mean, that sounds like an amazing trip.
Yeah. Dang.
So shout out to that.
I went to Disney World in Florida. That was cool.
There you go.
All right, Epcot was cool. I want to go back to Epcot just so I can drink in all the countries.
Oh, really? There you go. Because when you went, how old were you? Probably as a kid, right? You said?
I was like 9.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
I was not drinking. I was playing the Kim Possible mission, bro. They give you a little phone. You have to go like to each country and do a little mission for Kim Possible.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I think it's Perry the Platypus now. I think they changed it.
Yeah, because they're changing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they change. I feel like every other month or something new.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to go and update, which I understand, but there's certain things that are just so nostalgic.
Yeah, there's some timeless stuff that I feel like has to stay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, they're like Mickey, Minnie, Daffy, not Daffy,
Yeah.
Donald, Goofy, Pluto. There you go.
All right. So without further ado, we asked you guys a question the other day,
We
actually.
did.
I'm excited to see what some of you guys' responses are. So take it away, Lex.
We asked you guys, is Faye's death the worst in AOT? And yeah, we talked about that. I actually talked about it where I was like, oh, it's one of the worst, but it's not the worst. In my opinion, I think
Yeah.
the worst is Founder Ymir getting eaten
Yeah.
by Maria, Cena, and
Pop quiz. Name the 3 walls.
wow, I'm forgetting one of the walls. This is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Maria, well, Cena,
You're forgetting one that is like a flower.
and well, Rose.
Yeah, there you go.
Rose is the middle one, right?
Yeah.
It goes
So you got Mario, Rose, and Cena.
Rose doesn't matter.
So Cena
she's the middle kid.
Cena was just the baby.
The forgotten.
Rose is the middle child that
Yeah,
always gets
and then you got
forgotten.
Mario's the
My fault,
oldest.
Rose.
That's you, Nate.
But I think that is one of the worst deaths. However, I want to hear what you guys have
Yeah,
to
what
say.
did you guys say?
So first we have from friend of the show, Bobby7,
Yeah.
says, it's bad, but Mike.
Yeah. Mika is pretty bad too. I think
Mike's just sucked, man, because it's like this super strong soldier just happened to meet literally.
That's what I was gonna say.
The war chief.
the fact that this man is such a formidable ally to have, such like a leader.
I know.
You know, and to see him in that
Claimed
state,
to be second in skill, only to Levi.
to see him in that state where he's just so fearful, to see him where he literally he's frozen in fear, to see that he has no fight left in him, he has to literally convince himself like, wait, I said,
You're a soldier.
yeah, like it's until your last breath or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, the damage is done, and I mean, he's getting ripped to shreds by literally a horde of Titans, and I think with Bobby, I mean, just to go ahead and kind of like, you know, argue for Bobby's case is that what are you thinking, like, is it worse to get kind of ripped apart by dogs or ripped apart by Titans? Now that's where you can go ahead and kind of decide like, what would be the worst? And let's not forget, when you see Mike, he has a Titan literally over like munching on his skull.
Like eating his head. So I would hope that.
I would say dogs is worse. I feel like that's a slower.
Yeah, it was that one. They're I feel like they're playing with their food a little bit more.
Yeah.
But like, again, it's kind of like, you know, it's they're both pretty shitty.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my answer. I think there's one answer. To be, I mean, I can understand the Ymir one, but I think for sure the Marco still hurts me to this day.
Yeah, and that's what Lo's saying, right? Lo says that I forget the name of them, but they died because Ryan and Annie took his
Great
gear.
minds think alike.
Yeah, that's Marco.
Just the fact that we
Yeah,
get
because
a
Marco
scene.
was such a
That one was really heartbreaking.
big-hearted character
And,
that truly didn't understand, like, why were you doing this? Why
And
were you doing
the fact that we get that scene that's technically from his perspective, it's like, you don't know, like, is he still, like, somewhat cognitively there?
Yeah.
Like,
Was that for?
is that a memory of his, or is that just
was it on purpose or was it just for the whole?
for the aesthetic of it?
Yeah.
Because if it is from his
It was
perspective and he's
fun.
cognitive,
At least you got to see Jean.
I would rather die than
But
wait.
honestly, yeah, I
Imagine how
would've
long he
hoped
was
that
sitting
I could
there.
die
That's
through that.
crazy.
But also, let's go ahead and let's mention this little, you know, this little disclaimer. I guess is like, I mean, the word worst, right? The worst.
Yeah,
death.
that could be.
That's up to your own interpretation as far as worst.
That's
Like,
true.
as in, is it worst for you? Like, is that the worst death that you had to go ahead and
Would
deal
you
with?
rather have a
Emotionally
slow death
worse.
or
Or
a
is
quick
it,
death?
or is it
Gruesome?
worse as in like in terms of how they died? Because
Worse
sometimes
socially?
worse just means
Like
that
severity?
you lose a character that you truly care about.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
that means that it's just worse having to deal with the fact that you lost this character. I mean, we don't know. I mean, again, this is all up to your own interpretation on how you want to define the word worst. But that's why we enjoy asking you guys these questions and to see what your guys' your responses and how the point of view and how you guys took that question. So Bobby, thank you so much. And then, yeah, I agree. Mike is a character that we've mentioned plenty of times over on the podcast that he died way too early on in the story, and to think the hypothetical of him and very key moments of the story, how the story would have changed, how how
we would have had more of an advantage if he
yes, exactly.
in a lot of moments.
How beneficial his abilities would have really played into
all
effect
the what ifs.
Because the thing with him is that he's got that scent. He has that nose. He knows how to go ahead and smell out.
Titans underground.
Stuff. Yeah,
they're in the walls.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing that I really want to know that I know we'll never probably get is I would like to know a list of the reasons Aaron had for killing off who he did. Because you have to realize it's all technically Aaron's decision. And I'm sure there's people like Aaron even talked about how he had to kill his mother to save Bertolt. Like, I want to know why, like how he caused their death, like what he personally did, and what they did in an alternate reality where they weren't killed to make Aaron want to kill them.
What are all the other
what is their potential? What could they have done to piss off Aaron?
Exactly. That was what was going to go through my mind too, is that like they were chosen to be taken out of the story for a reason.
Yeah. And Aaron's it's either character development or you're going against my plan. I want to know which it is.
Something could just be essentially a building block.
Yeah.
Or this person's death was a ripple effect to cause this to happen. Not necessarily what they did to Aaron or to prevent things. It's more so like that person needed to die for, like you said, character development.
Like Aaron setting up his mom to set up Bertolt to give him eventually Armin.
And it's crazy how that domino effect plays out. But yeah, I mean, Lowe's also mentioning another series of deaths that we got over in season 2. Series, listening to me as I said series. Jacob, what's up?
He is.
How you doing, Jacob? Welcome. I'm so glad that Jacob's here to go ahead and to join us live over on the pod. How you doing, Jacob? Hopefully you're having a good week. And we're happy whenever you join us live. Right now, we're just talking about the Q&A. I don't know if Jacob gave us a response.
He did.
He usually does. He did. Very cool. So we'll get to your response very, very shortly, Jacob. But yeah, so right now we're talking about if Faye's death was the worst death. And Bobby gave us an awesome response about Mike and his death. And then Lowe's also mentioned some other deaths with the Marco's death, as well as now we're kind of talking about the Levi squad, the original Levi squad, and all their deaths.
Caused by the female Titan, I think.
The female Titan was pretty ruthless. Because we saw some deaths.
That one guy.
And one guy was getting just absolutely just like folded in half.
Folded backwards.
Yeah.
And he's spitting that one.
So back to the topic of My Hero a little bit. So yeah.
There we go, baby.
So Jacob,
we go.
No spoilers at all because Lo, who's Robin Attic fan, who joins us here, Lo has not started My Hero at all. So, but that's just another reason why, Lo, for you to go ahead and watch My Hero because Jacob is really enjoying it. But yeah, no spoilers with My Hero.
Please no.
We can talk spoilers with Attack on Titan because we've talked about this journey. We've talked about how things really play into how they go and matter in the future and all that.
We gotta talk big picture here.
But yeah, so kind of just to go ahead and wrap up the whole Levi squad, the original members. I mean, yeah, that one was really brutal because you really saw a sense of unity. You saw how well they pretty much like fought together. And then when you got to know them as characters, as their own individual characters, they are very much different. You have obviously a character in Ottawa who, is more, for lack of a better term, the comedic relief.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's still very accomplished.
He's still wannabe.
He's
he tries too hard.
Even though he doesn't look it, he's young.
Yeah, he's actually like 19.
Yeah, he's like 19 years old.
And
he's trying to essentially live up to the standards of Captain Levi. Jacob says that Ottawa's 70. He looks
19.
Yeah, he looks like you can go ahead and swap the ages between him and Levi.
Yeah.
But then you have, two leaders in Elgin, and then you have Gunther as well. I remembered Gunther's name this time. But Elgin is the one with the kind of like blonde guy with he had a little bit of the ponytail. And then you have
little rat tail.
Yeah, the little rat tail. And then Gunther is the one with the kind of like, he has an almond type looking hair.
Conehead.
And then, of course, we can't forget Petra. You know, Petra is a character that a lot of people, once we saw her death, it really affected a lot of viewers, a lot of fans. And,
I feel like the Levi squad just hit so hard in general because you're finally given like a group of individuals who are known for besting Titans. Like you have this group that you don't expect to lose based on how they're built up.
Yeah.
And they just get swept from underneath you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, they
man.
encountered
Crazy
the
is that-
female Titans, so
Talk about like full fold. Like we see, it looks like, you know, they have the advantage on the female Titan. You know, they're able to go ahead and, you know, handicap her to where, you know, remove an eye or, you know, whatever the case is, you know, mess with the joints where, you know, can't use her arm.
But Annie is too damn smart, man.
And Annie is, she is a force to be reckoned with.
Bred to be a weapon, so.
And, you know.
Or trained to be a weapon, I mean.
And then the devastation that we saw and how she, you know, took out the Levi squad members was really that was a tough watch for sure. So another group of deaths that we saw that was really, really bad. And let's go back to the list. What do we got, Lex?
So, like I said, Jacob did give us
what
a
did Jacob have to
response.
say?
Jacob said, Aaron should have trampled Marley 900 more times with more rumblings because of what happened to Faye. And I feel like Faye's death could be considered a pretty bad death, not only because you're getting torn to shreds and these guards are just enjoying it, but also because she was so young and she just didn't understand the cruelty of the world.
Yep.
Very hopeful, very loving little girl who couldn't be more than 10 years old.
Who did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And got ripped to shreds for literally existing.
And these dogs look like wolves, man.
Yeah, they look very like rabid.
They're definitely bred for the purpose of
tearing apart children.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hunting.
Hunting little girls.
Yeah.
To be specific.
But yeah, Jacob, I totally get your rage, man. I totally get that. I think the rumbling is
Jacob
after
is
what
our,
happened to Faye. Rumbling.
Jacob is our Jaegerist that we have that joins us in the pod.
Thank you for that, Jacob. Yeah. Next we have another loyal friend of the show, Kyron.
Shout out Kyron.
Known as Portraits.
Yeah, Portraits.
Known as Portraits
That's
by
me last week with
K.
all my autistic friends.
Yeah, all my autistic friends.
I love acoustic people.
Yeah.
Kyron says it's bad, but definitely not the worst.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what Kyron.
So
wow, way to be mysterious and vague, kiddo.
Kyron left us with that.
Yes, that is a Gengar.
Yeah.
It is a Gengar.
A wild Gengar.
Yes. Wild Gengar for sure.
Thank you for that, Kyron. Totally leaving us at the edge of our seat, not explaining what you think the worst is.
Kyron, you better hop in here, bro, and you tell me what the worst
Kyron might
death
be at
is.
work over at Top Golf.
Oh yeah.
But
Kyron was whacking balls right now.
But Kyron was able to join us, you know, towards the end of the podcast last
So if we
week.
see him, we're gonna bombard him with what's the worst?
Yeah.
What do
We
you
ain't
think the
moving
worst
on
is?
until you tell us, bro. And you left me spiraling.
I'm kind of curious. What do we think Kyron would say?
Probably
I
Ymir.
don't know.
I feel like Kyron would easily throw the Ymir up there.
I think Ymir would be a good one to go ahead and say. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what Kyron would say. Hopefully Kyron joins us.
Yeah, hopefully, and then we'll just bombard him with that.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have another loyal friend, film_24 FPS. So film
All right, film.
says, not sure if it's the worst, but it's definitely up there. Top 3 for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
Again,
what's your top 3?
We want to know what your top 3 is.
Yeah. So that begs the question: what would be
Don't
the
be
top
shy.
3?
You can elaborate.
But all right. So interesting.
That is all of
We
them.
got some interesting responses. I want to say thank you, of course, to everybody that responded.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank
you
you,
all so
thank
much for
you.
your guys' engagement
We
with
appreciate it.
with the podcast.
And that
You
was
guys
a little
know.
bit late of a post, so thank you for all who.
Yeah. But all right. So now we got to talk about it amongst ourselves here. So Lexi's been on record to go ahead and talk about Ymir. She mentioned it as well as
I would say that's
start
my
of
vote.
the Q&A. And do we all agree? Do we agree? Do we think that one is the worst? Ymir?
I'm still standing by Marco. That shit hurt me. That's
So I'm gonna throw out some potential worst, but again, worst is defining as in like, okay, that's the worst death for viewers to just have to go ahead and digest and just deal with. And I use the word digest because this character involves food. But how do we feel about Sasha? Because that was
I
one
think that one is
happened.
more of just, I wouldn't say it's a bad death. I would say it's an impactful death.
Yeah.
Which again,
I'd
like
agree.
you said, defines worst however you
worse
define
than,
worst.
like, it depends on, for you.
It
It's
was
like that was
very
the worst death for
impactful.
me because it was difficult for me to deal with. Like I hated the fact of going on this journey without Sasha. Like you never know. Some people are really attached. Like for me, if something were to happen to Armin, that for me would be what I would consider the worst death personally for me because of
Almost was.
losing a character like that. What's up, Bat?
What's up, Bat?
How you doing?
Thank you
Hopefully
for joining
you're having
us.
a good week, and hopefully your weekend was well.
We have a question for you, Bat, since you didn't answer in the Q&A. What do you think is the worst
Can't
death
pull
in
that.
AOT?
Yes.
Because we're talking about Faye,
Grisha's younger sister, who was ripped apart by those dogs.
Yeah. So with
Yeah.
our votes, we have me, the founder Ymir, who got eaten by Mario
Her daughters,
Rose.
literally her daughters.
Yeah, like literally got eaten by her daughters, Mario Rose and Cena. Remember their names? And then Zach's vote is for Marco.
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
that one, I feel like
Marco.
that one just hurts.
Bobby
Yeah.
said Mike.
Yeah, Bobby said Mike.
Low earlier also said Marco as well, but they also mentioned the Levi squad members. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe Bat is answering with agreeing with
Aaron.
Aaron's death.
agreeing with Jacob. Saying
Oh,
Aaron's
yeah.
Also, Jacob Sukuna, bro. That's my answer.
death. Bat being
Yeah,
alive
agrees.
Yep.
first.
Well, technically, that doesn't have to just be Ymir.
That could
Bertold
also
was
be
eaten
Faye.
alive.
Faye,
Faye was eaten alive.
Grisha,
Mike
But I will
was eaten
say
alive.
though that
Aaron Kruger.
there's different
a lot
like,
of people.
severity levels of being eaten alive. Now, Ymir
Marco was eaten
being
alive.
feasted on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is against the daughter's will. Like, daughters have no idea what's going on. You just have freaking, old king, what's the last Fitz, right? Fritz. He's just like, telling his daughters to go ahead and consume the power of the Titans and blah, 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 and all that hoopla.
And Dinah's great grandpa or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever he was.
Whatever he was to her.
I mean, if we really want to talk about worse too, if we're gonna just throw out crazy deaths, we could talk about what is it, Porco, the Jaw Titan, or is it Galliard?
Oh, Galliard got eaten by...
who gets nutcrackered by Aaron.
Oh, yeah. That's Porco.
Yeah, Porco and the Warhammer and Porco.
Porco ended up dying ultimately from Falco. Right?
We're talking about Porco getting eaten by
Aaron.
he uses oh no he doesn't get
he doesn't
eaten.
die.
He
That's
uses
just the
the
Warhammer.
he uses the nutcracker
He uses them as a yes.
to
yes.
eat the Warhammer.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Jacob Flock's death too, man. I got so sad. The loss of a true leader.
I don't agree, but
Flock was just that cockroach that just wouldn't go away.
Everyone
Yeah.
gets their own opinion.
we could also add in there Premier Zachary, but I think that was just poetic. That was a poetic
Oh,
death.
that was
You know what?
necessary.
I mean,
It was deserved.
talk about art. I mean, some people just live and die by their art. That's what it is.
Live and die by it.
But yeah,
I was born from
a lot of characters in their
Born to
deaths.
die.
I mean, there's a lot of death. You can just pick and choose from really whatever. I mean, who knows? Yeah.
So what was your vote?
It wasn't Sasha.
You
I'm
you just
throwing
threw
out-
Sasha out there,
Yeah, it's
but
going out as far as a different, definition of worst. But the ones that stick with me,
I mean you could say that it's also Aaron's mom,
yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
Off rip, bro.
but I think it's
The ones that stick with me are Ymir, definitely Faye, and then of course the freaking Yo-Yo dude.
Yeah.
That one's definitely
Like that'd be
That
my,
one's like socially the worst because everyone just saw you get swung around.
yeah.
Your eyeballs probably popped out of your sockets from the velocity.
I mean, I hope he would have already died and not felt it, but
No.
God.
But I mean, I'd have to agree with Lex, to be honest. If I were to go ahead and choose which one would be my top, like as
Ymir.
far as worst, and Ymir, because I mean, just the idea of having to go ahead and have these young children, these 3 young girls, feasting on their mother's
Because
flesh.
it's not even, because at least, this is going to sound so bad, at least the dogs enjoyed eating Faye.
Yeah.
Those girls did not enjoy eating Ymir.
that was unhappy for all parties involved.
Yeah, like no one benefited from that. Except for Fritz.
Yep.
Also, Jacob, I know he won. It's crazy. Drake's a pedophile.
Yeah, I agree. When you were saying, I forgot what you were saying. You mentioned the word hate and just that Kendrick bar.
I hate the way that you walk.
It's all about love and hate.
Talk.
I hate the way that you walk, I hate the way you talk, I hate the way that you dress, I hate the way that you. Yeah.
I'm talking about Rocco on any chance.
Not Rocco. That's really us about
As far as
Gobby.
like the music charts, or whatever. Like he has two of the top songs are Kendrick's.
They're his diss tracks.
It's just
It's
crazy.
Euphoria, and what's the other one?
There's so many. There's Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and then there's one more.
What's the other one? It's Euphoria and because Drake's is what? Family Matters. Is Drake's Family
Drake's is
Matters?
Family
Meet the
Matters,
Grams. Yeah.
Meet the Grams is Kendrick.
One of the saddest deaths. Yeah, that's another sad one.
Yeah, that one's sad. Like a
Bro,
sacrifice.
That shit.
Not like us.
Not like us. I think that's what it is.
That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah.
That's the one where he
Question is,
dropped
though-
Drake's mansion with
It
a
was so
15
fun.
pedophile pin, 6 pins.
So I mean,
Drake had a shooting near his.
Drake has to respond again, right?
He probably not gonna respond soon. He got a shooting at his mansion this morning.
Yeah,
so.
there was a shooting.
Oh, really?
So I think it's getting a little too serious, guys. Let's calm it down. Let's stick to writing poetry about each other. I like when
Nah,
we're
fuck
doing
that.
that.
Let's expose pedophiles. Fuck. Let's get them exposed. Get them out.
It's true. There seems to be a lot of
Justice.
craziness going on over in the entertainment industry.
I think it was all the memes are like, "You're a pedophile. I never did anything to Millie Bobby Brown. Who said anything about Millie?" What's going on?
I know, right?
It's really funny actually because so obviously, like I said, this Sunday, me and Luca just kind of napped all day.
Yeah.
Obviously, he falls asleep like that. So when we first lay down, he's out, and his window is open at his apartment, and his bed is right next to the window, and I just hear there's a neighbor or someone. We're right next to like the parking stalls, and they're just blasting that Kendrick's Euphoria. I'm trying to nap, and all I hear is trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
That's great.
I'm trying to nap, and I just hear that going. And I'm like, oh God.
Has anybody been to Detroit here?
I have not been to Detroit. I have not.
All I can tell you, my friend.
I've not been.
But I would love to go to Italy. How's Italy?
Yeah, how's Italy? All I can tell you, my friend, is that they had the NFL draft over in Detroit recently. Can't be all that bad. I'm kidding. I think it just depends. Much like a lot of places.
I think a lot of a lot of places have good and bad areas.
so
There's
hopefully-
like that at all places, really.
It's not anywhere too bad.
just stick to the touristy shit.
We wish you all the best of luck over in Detroit.
I know.
Yeah.
But I have heard
Stay safe.
some
Photo
crazy shit
Piadini.
about Detroit.
Yeah, just try to stick to the touristy spots, stay populated areas.
Is it Piadini or
Be smart.
Piedini?
Move in groups. Please don't go by yourself.
Piedini sounds funnier.
Piedini.
Photo Piedini.
Photo Piedini.
Yeah,
But
any other
welcome,
questions for us?
welcome.
Go ahead and shoot over in chat.
I would love to go to Italy. That's on my bucket list. Right after the Philippines. Luca's been sending me so much of like beautiful views in the Philippines. And I'm like, oh, it looks so like out of this world. And I'm so jealous.
I want to go to
He's
Australia.
gonna get paid just to play volleyball.
Australia's another pretty crazy place, isn't
I
it?
want to go surfing in Australia.
I don't want to.
Crikey.
I don't want to deal with the
Kangaroos.
not the kangaroos, just like their insects and stuff
Oh,
there.
yeah, there's some crazy
Australia is crazy.
Yeah.
I had a friend the other day who was like,
They
I
just
want
got
to.
those big old hunting spiders just in their room.
Oh yeah,
in their
motherfuckers
houses.
are everywhere. Yeah, I had a friend the other day who was like, I want to go hug a koala, and off the top of my head, I was like, no, you don't. They have chlamydia, so please don't go hugging.
Oh my God, yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Koalas, like
they known to carry
have like
chlamydia.
STDs.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, stay away from those. Babette has a response for our Italy friend. Babette said Detroit's okay. But like Zach said, just stay in the tourist areas. And Babette says, I've been to Italy. Beautiful country.
Yeah.
Very cool. We've come to learn that Babette is well traveled, right? Babette, I believe, is a truck driver, I think.
It's dope.
I think
If I remember
so.
correctly.
Lo said it's really not that bad here. Are you in Detroit?
Yeah, are you currently in Detroit, Lo? Or are you in Italy? I'm kidding.
That's
I know. Are you in
crazy.
Italy?
If you're in Italy, fly me out or not.
Oh, Australia.
In
Oh
Australia.
yeah, duh. We've been over this.
Yeah, there you go.
We mentioned this before.
Me, Zach, his girlfriend,
Yeah,
and mine. Go to
family
Japan. Oh, and AJ and Zebra Cake.
Wow, you had to just including me and
Okay.
my girlfriend at the end, huh? You're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you guys can come.
It's okay. I'm not included at all.
I know, literally.
Appreciate that,
Well,
buddy.
you're going to be in the Philippines.
I'm not
so-
included at all. I want to go to Japan.
You're a hop, skip, and a jump away.
There
Right.
you go. Yeah.
We'll just boat you over.
But we gotta go. Does that mean we have to go pick up your girlfriend in Romania first, or is she gonna go?
Is she gonna meet us there, or are you gonna go pick her up?
Babis, I'll go to Japan also.
We're all going to Japan.
You know what, guys? We are excited to announce the Attack the Talk meetup in Japan in 2025.
Yeah,
we'll see you guys there.
You guys there. We'll start saving up now. You guys start saving up as well.
In Shibuya, and we'll sign T-shirts and shit.
Yeah, there you go. We'll have some
Whatever
fun.
voice line
I'm not signing your chest before anyone asks. I'm not signing your chest.
All right, very cool. Great stuff, guys. But we do have a lot of episode to cover, and I believe we're already an hour in. Yes, we're exactly an hour in. You guys keep firing away over in chat. Yeah, Zach can be our tour guide for sure.
Got you guys.
Oh, another fun thing. Sorry, this is completely random, but you asked me about my weekend. I don't know why it comes to my mind because I was thinking about my girlfriend, of course. But another fun thing that we did was Friday night. We went to in Hollywood. We went to emo night.
No way!
Yeah.
Which club did you guys go to?
Huh?
Which one? Which club?
It was Pavilon, I believe.
Ooh!
It was Hollywood Pavilon.
I've heard many of good things.
And
oh, that's exciting.
And it was cool. Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't know what to expect because for me, you know how I try to go ahead and be as prepared as possible. I want to go ahead and kind of know what I'm going to what to expect. I looked at some stuff online, and I saw absolute chaos and mosh pits
Beautiful.
and crowd surfing, and I was like, oh fuck. All right, protective mode is going to go ahead and be on red alert for sure.
Beautiful.
Because much like, you know, I don't know if I've stated before on the podcast about like, I think we have talked about it, about how I'm a control freak and a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like, you know, recreational stuff.
Yeah.
Even with just drinking. Like, I just don't like that feeling. But anyway, so whenever I'm in an element and surroundings where I'm surrounded by a lot of craziness and borderline stupidity, I can't enjoy my time. So I was really stressing. You know, Ronnie saw me stressing.
That's just the art of punk. Punk is just
Ronnie
meant to be like that.
me stressing, especially because I was stressing literally the day of, and then it was fun. We didn't go in the pit, of course, you know, but we were over there on the floor where the pit was happening, and we felt the pull of the pit. We're like, whoa!
Yeah.
The gravity.
I'm like trying to hang on for dear life. I was like, don't worry, guys, we're not going in.
The pit's bringing you in.
And
I felt like Captain America holding the helicopter.
But
I was thinking about Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
There you go. Yeah, both great.
He's just a kid.
He's just a kid. But they didn't play the two songs that I wanted. Now, I'm gonna ask you guys this question.
I have no clue what those two songs were, AJ.
No. If you went to emo night and you wanted to hear one emo song, or if you have an emo song that is kind of a go-to.
Dear Maria, count me in.
Okay. Dear Maria, count me in. It's good. Who's that by? Do you remember or no?
I got your picture. Yeah. I'm coming with her.
Dear Maria, count me in.
It sounds like an anime opening. Huh?
All time low.
All time low.
Mine is gonna be
Freak on a Leash.
Ooh.
Nice.
Is that by Korn?
Yeah. That's pretty good. Korn's pretty good. Yeah. Mine's by Panic at the Disco, and it's called okay, it would either have to be Build God Then We'll Talk, or it'll be, oh god, I forgot what the first word of the title is, but blah 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 is the most fun a girl can have without taking off her clothes. Back when emo songs had a full paragraph.
Back when they were very poetic.
Their titles.
Interesting. Okay.
Lying is the most fun.
Lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking off her clothes.
Okay.
I love that one.
Classic. I didn't want to be basic and say Mr. Brightside or Bulls on Parade, but Bulls on Parade is another one for me.
Those are classics. I mean,
Bulls on Parade. Oh,
for whatever reason,
or anything Paramore, like anything in that good Paramore era.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good.
And tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
For whatever reason, the lobby area, almost like every third song was Metro Station "Shake It."
Metro Station's kind of good, but
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Every time you hear it, you're like, "All right, cool." You
can
help but like,
yeah, you do it like that.
But for me, the two songs that I wanted to hear was "I'm Not Okay" by My Chemical Romance.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted to hear Dance Dance by Fall Out Boy. Like,
Yes.
those are two just good ones where it's like, those are two just like, I feel like you play those and people were just go out there and just be doing their thing, you know. But I mean, again, it was fun. It was a great time. Emo night was really cool.
Did you guys dress in theme?
Black.
Okay, close enough.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And yeah, it was really cool.
That sounds like so much fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
I feel like you guys would also like Club Nocturno. That's another one. Whenever it comes back to LA, but
Yeah,
I've been wanting to go to there's in LA a club that has like dark wave night, and it's kind of like a goth subgenre, and I love dark wave music. I would love to go.
Yeah.
But I would feel like such a noob going.
Well, I mean, you just go for the experience. You go to just, you know, like I say, you enjoy the music, and then you kind of just figure out what the hell everybody's doing, and you're just like, that's what it is, you know. Thankfully, Ronnie's sister was there with her boyfriend, and we just kind of followed her lead because she knew what to go and expect and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool.
You had a tour guide.
A little guide, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Dope.
So, all right, guys.
Sharing.
We have a lot of story to cover. Like I said, we set the table last week with the Restorationists and Grisha being recruited by Grice, and then they come to find out that there is a person of royal blood amongst them. As a matter of fact, this person of royal blood is a new ally of theirs that was sent from the Owl, and that would be Miss Dinah Fritz.
Gasp.
You may have seen her before, but she looks much different now. Much different. Some may say less happy. 'Cause before she was very smiley.
Some may say more clothed.
More clothed.
Smaller.
More feminine. Less.
Menacing.
Yeah. Hungry, maybe? She's probably hungry here.
Hungry.
A more
But she did
satiable
not.
appetite.
She did not flee to the island of Parody. She decided to stay right there in Marley and fight for the Eldians. And Grisha's fighting for the Eldians.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, you know, the two happen to go ahead and make eye contact. And you know what?
A glance.
That's
Shared
where we're going to
between
go
two
ahead and
star-crossed
start.
lovers.
We're going to start there. So you guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Let's jump right into it. This is season 3, episode 20. That day, part 3 of our episode breakdown and discussions. Here we go. We continue the Grisha. Excuse me. I'm trying to do my narrator the Armin. We continue with Grisha's words as he narrates. When we locked eyes, I decided to allow fate to steer my life where it would. Dinah was all that remained of a branch of the royal family that refused to flee the continent. She taught us secrets about the Titans that only royalty had known before. We believed that she had shown us the path to victory. Grisha adamantly says, I'm sure of it! The king brought the founding Titans' power into the walls! If we take that power, then we can control all the Titans and crush Marley once and for all! Comrade Grice has his reservations as he questions.
But wait, if the king was to wield such an absolute power, then why'd he run away in the first place?
Dinah responds.
That's simple. It's because he refused to fight. In the midst of the Great Titan War, the 145th king forsook his duty to restore order in the continent and moved his capital to a distant island. All our pain, all these years of anguish, it can be traced to the moment our king renounced conflict.
There is this brief pause in the room while everyone gathers their thoughts. Grisha tells his comrades, let's fight again. Dinah gasps. The true royal family stayed right here on the continent and held their ground for Eldia. It's time we brought the founding Titan back to them. Against its power, Marley will crumble. We'll restore Eldia and live proudly once more. All of the members of the Restorationists stand to their feet. They raise their hands with pride and they yell in unison.
We love you, Grisha.
All except Dinah, as she stares at Grisha, still stunned by this passion.
Wow.
Grisha looks at Dinah with a confident look of reassurance. And then Dinah becomes emotional, as this man is willing to help her ancestors. Dinah is so overwhelmed with emotion that she goes in for a comforting hug. Grisha narrates, "The next year, the two of us married, and were blessed with a son. His name was Zeke."
Riz.
Grisha, holding his precious boy, says, "Our royal child Zeke. There's no doubt in my heart that someday he'll lead his people to victory." Grisha and his family prepare to be photographed. Grisha narrates, "Years pass by, and people change. As the world around us rapidly advanced, a turning point came for the restorationists. A photo was snapped, and it's the recognizable family photo found hidden in the basement." Wow.
Damn, that's crazy. You go lead our people to victory.
Grisha himself is quite the ladies' man.
No, I actually I genuinely have this thought that Grisha has to be this crazy ladies' man because he's gotten 2 women that I'm sure other men have definitely had their eyes on. We know for a fact that other people had their eyes on Carla.
Yep.
We know for a fact that Sodus.
Keith Sodus.
Yeah, that Keith Sodus was working on her for a while.
I become commander, then she's gonna love me.
Yeah, no. Then Grisha stole her.
Go be a
And I'm
doctor.
sure that, this royalty, beautiful blonde woman walks in, Dinah, the only woman to help this, from what we can see, the only woman in this, what are they called? The restorationist?
Yeah, the restorationist
group. And I'm sure everyone's probably thinks that she's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
No doubt.
She's so smart. She's brilliant. She's of royal
Grisha
family.
did right off the bat.
And the way that all Grisha had to do was just start a revolution. And she was like, my hero.
Is that not one of the most
Grisha's
romantic
got
things
crazy
you can do for
riz.
love? Start a revolution for love?
I will say this though,
But it was for her ancestors.
Grisha is a little bit of a simp here because of his first words here. Words that we were left with last week's episode where he says, "When we locked eyes, I decided to allow my fate to steer my life where it would."
He let
Right?
Jesus take the
In other
wheel on
words,
that
he's
one.
he's like, look, wherever I'm going,
That
long as she's
attack
there,
Riz. He had that attack.
you know what? Hey, she
there.
wants to go ahead and
attack
fight.
Riz. That's it. That's actually his Titan ability.
There you go. But,
That's the Attack Titan's secret ability.
what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Riz.
It's Riz.
Riz.
But again, we see the passion that Grisha has. I mean, we talked about it last week on how he's now essentially leading the restorationists. Granted, we know about the owl, but we don't ever see the owl. As a matter of fact, Grisha explains that the owl is the one orchestrating everything, yet nobody has seen the owl and even knows what the owl looks like.
Just as
don't
elusive
worry.
here
We
as
will.
he is in the Tokyo Ghoul universe, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He's in a different anime. Give him a second.
He's like Zoro. He got lost along the way.
Literally. But we do know that the owl is
Going turbo.
the one that brought Dinah to the restorationists. So whether or not Dinah is aware of who the owl is and what the owl looks like, we don't know. But so
We'll
Dinah
find out
is,
soon enough.
like Lexi mentioned, Dinah is the only woman a part of the restorationists at the moment. Well, Grisha is the one kind of orchestrating these meetings. He's the one, as we see here with him, essentially, I want to say, giving the motivation to these people to go ahead and fight for Eldia to reclaim the founding Titan, right? In his words, right, he says, "Crush Marley once and for all." I mean, that sounds very Jaeger-esque, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, I don't know if at this point, if Aaron already has his little fingerprints
Yeah, he's got
all over the story.
his fingers on a couple strings.
I don't know if he's the one who is, feeding the owl with potential little, allies. I don't know if he's already got to Grisha's mind. But Grisha's talking about how, look, the king brought the founding Titan's power into the walls, and if we take that power, then we can control all of the other Titans. He's not wrong. And then he says, "Crush Marley once and for all," as we talked about. This is very much the same mindset as Aaron, and we understand Aaron's whole agenda is freedom. Now, we're trying to understand Grisha's whole agenda. Is it love?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I feel like it's liberation.
I feel like it is where just he's
But
tired of that. We
also-
talked about that, the segregation that he had to go ahead and suffer at a young age, and he's sick and tired of it. And I understand, but they talk about this Great Titan War that took place 80 years ago, and for Marley to go ahead and claim 7 of the 9 Titans is pretty incredible. We talked about that. But the founding Titan is the Titan that is over in the Island of Parody.
Yeah.
We understand that that's ultimately going to become the Rice family. And
Big slug man.
and that's going to go ahead and kind of carry on in terms of the lineage there of the founding Titan for a little while, until Grisha ultimately goes and claims that founding Titan ability.
Yeah.
Now we understand Grisha doesn't have it for long because he was given a mission, and we'll get that mission essentially next week. But yeah, like Zach said, his mission right now is liberation. He is looking to go ahead and end this segregation because, as he talked about last week, like Ymir is the one who forged these paths, created these formations, and essentially built bridges for people to go ahead and not perish but to prosper. It's not about a specific type of people, a specific race of people. It's about people as a whole prospering in this world that she wanted to go ahead and create. She was not this monster who was leading this charge of segregation.
Yeah.
No, she was this crazy, enormous force of, I don't want to say peace because we don't know necessarily Ymir's agenda, but we do know that she was
Some kind of maybe restoration. Some
very much
kind of
motivated by love.
evolution. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like she was viewed as a deity, but she was just a woman who did whatever her king told her to do.
Yeah, that is the sad truth of it all, and that's all stuff that we're going to figure out literally as we get to a close of the series. But
Yeah.
there's a lot to Ymir that is a mystery, and
All you can see from now is that she's just a girl that controls big naked people.
yeah,
And makes them do things for the public.
She essentially chooses who is worthy in certain cases, but she's not this monster who is looking to go ahead and create divide. I mean, that's just a misconception of what as we've talked about last week. That's essentially the history that the Marlians are trying to push, right?
Yeah.
Because they were, for so many years, they were the ones that were being segregated against. They were the ones that had, the bad end of the coin.
Yeah. Short end of the stick.
Yeah, there we go. But Grisha's passion is enough to get the attention of Dinah, and Dinah.
I wonder what Grisha's actual plan is, because he does just say, "It's time we brought the founding Titan back to them. Against its power, Marley will crumble and will restore Eldia and live proudly once more." How do you plan on getting the founding Titan?
Exactly, because even then,
thankfully it falls into his lap, but
Quite literally.
because even with Grice, who is there as his patriot, as a member of the Restorationists, I mean, he even has his questions as well, as he says, like, look, if the king was to wield such an absolute power, then why did he run away? We're talking about how he's able to control these Titans. Then what's the point of him running away? And Dinah, she essentially says, like, look, I mean, he's not a fighter. He says, like, look, he refused to fight. She says, in the midst of the Great Titan War, the 145th king, and that's a whole lot of kings, right?
Yeah.
Goes to show again why Marlians wanted to go ahead and claim that power is because of all the kings that took place
1700 years for you right there.
for the Eldians.
it's kind of interesting that he's 145th king, because we have, what is it, the 140th cadet squad?
Yeah, that's
like
a
that?
crazy little like similarity that we
Isn't
have.
that a really interesting parallel?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why I just thought about that. I mean, given we don't get the 140th until, like, obviously this is where they're at in the story right now is a lot earlier on, but still,
But I mean, it's a little too.
the 140s,
We can't go ahead and kind of ignore it.
because that nothing is ever coincidence.
Exactly.
With Isayama.
But then she continues saying that this 145th king decided to go ahead and essentially, like, he said, like, screw the duty of having to go ahead and fight. Like, no, like, we're going to go ahead and create a new peace over in this island.
Yeah.
He's decided to move the capital to Paradis. And Dinah continues saying, all our pain, all these years of anguish can all be traced to the moment our king renounced conflict. Interesting. But they make it seem like it's kind of like a bad thing. Almost like, he went ahead and decided to run instead of fighting for, his people. But we understand that last week we learned that the king essentially took his people and they decided to go ahead and create, move the capital and start new.
Yeah.
And then we get the walls, I'm assuming, over in Paradis, and everything that evolves
We all
with
know
it.
how that happened.
And very, very interesting. But again, Grisha, to his plan, like Lexi said, how are you going to accomplish this? Like Grisha says, we'll fight again. He says, the true royal family stayed right here on this continent. They held their ground for Eldia. It's time we brought the founding titan back. Against its power, Marley will crumble. We will restore Eldia and live proudly once more. Those are all great words. Yippee! But how? How are you going to do that? Literally, those are just words. There's no actual plan of attack. There's no actual...
what is the plan?
There's no details here.
Great idea.
Literally. Aaron.
My son
Just wait.
is up there leading us right now.
Because the thing is with this,
your
I mean...
son. Dinah's like, huh?
Not to get too
You
far...
have a son?
Not to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but...
Not really.
This is all fine, but nothing amounts to shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. And it's not until much later on when, talk about the lineage here, talk about, they end up having a family. They have Zeke, right? Talk about how he'll lead his people to victory. Now, I want to talk about that when it comes to Zeke.
That is interesting.
Let's talk about this.
I
mean,
love
this is a whole different, we're talking about a whole different son that's going to go ahead and lead to victory, I guess, if that's what you want to think, that Aaron is the one who's kind of like what he executed. Obviously, it was genocide. Obviously, it was the destruction of Marley. Now, if that's the victory that Grisha is referring to here, it was by a different son.
Yeah.
And
you can tell that even since birth, talking about Zeke, you could tell that even since Zeke's birth, Grisha was already implementing his agenda onto Zeke.
And we're going to go ahead and cover that over the next act and get more detail on that. But that's a great point.
But you can already tell he will lead to victory.
Yeah.
I got so much shit to say about that.
I'm literally 3 minutes old. Give me a break.
So not even there. Dude, he crowned, and he was like, "That's our leader."
Yeah.
So let's talk about it here because we talked about Grisha being very passionate about this plan, not really having details behind this plan, but then Dinah is so overwhelmed with emotion that she actually hugs him, right? And then time
That's when
plays out.
So many men's hearts drop.
Yeah, literally.
That night,
oh, man.
He got her.
Zeke was conceived.
Yeah, and then
I like how literally after that he was just like, then we got married and we had a kid.
Yep. That's why I kind of did a little chuckle to myself. Yeah,
That
but then,
night.
She's like, do the restorationist speech again. Do it again.
when you talk about though how
Gonna liberate Paradis.
but you talk about though how Dinah probably walks into the room and then you had all these people essentially wow, she's
Probably swooning over her.
beautiful and stuff, exactly. But
She's royalty.
But also the fact that she is royalty, and then so when you go ahead and you become a part of that family, you are associated to royalty now. So that's what something that Grisha here is now. We see as he's literally just cherishing and holding his he says his precious boy.
His weapon. I mean, his son.
He says, our royal child Zeke. Obviously, describing his son as royal, right?
Because he does have royal blood.
He says, there is no doubt in my heart that someday he'll lead his people to victory. Now, that is such an interesting line because we understand that Zeke goes on to accomplish a lot. He goes on to lead.
He's a great war chief.
He goes on to be an absolute force.
Yeah. Competing with Irvin.
We talked about one of the worst deaths from a character in Mike. And that was by the hands, essentially, of
this little boy.
monkey.
He led the
This monkey.
He was leading the wrong people to victory.
It's crazy. And I believe it's actually this scene where when he talks about I'm going to get ahead of myself, actually. It'll be the next point. Then we'll talk about Zeke and foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Would we like to jump in?
Right now it's just a quick interaction.
But right now we just barely go ahead and get to know that Zeke is their child and
blonde little boy.
And which is interesting because we know way back when Zeke first saw Aaron, was talking about father. Never did he say our father. He always referred to Aaron as your father.
Yeah, your father.
And wanting to save Aaron from, Aaron's father.
Yeah.
And now we come to realize that they're brothers.
Yeah.
And is this our first like confirmation?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think you're right. This is the first confirmation.
This is our first confirmation in the series.
Yeah, if you're viewing this as a first time viewer, then yeah.
Yeah, so this is our first confirmation we get where Zeke, where we come to know Zeke as this, like Lexi described him as this war chief. You know, he's Grisha's.
He's our main character.
Because we do know that his
brother.
name is Zeke at this. We know that the Beast Titan's name is Zeke at this time, right? We know that?
Yeah, we know
Okay,
that.
then yeah.
Zeke. We just don't
So I guess in a way, maybe it's not a full confirmation, but for us, you know, obviously we're very much, you know, informed with the story and understand, you know.
That is the first inkling given to the audience, the first information given to the audience that they're related.
Yeah, that's our first piece of solid canonical proof.
And it's even more so implemented because you see that photo is taken, the same photo that's in the basement.
Yeah, this photo that's in the basement.
So it's like, oh, this is important
you don't
somehow.
know if in that photo Grisha's stepdaddy, adopted.
Yeah.
Now you know.
And you
Maybe
didn't
they
even
just
know that
decided-
was Zeke.
Maybe they just decided, you know, again, to your point, like we don't know this is his actual family. Maybe this, you know, the single mother decided to take a picture with this doctor who's very
I know.
helpful.
Maybe it's a baby he saved.
Now it's a confirmation.
I mean,
that
shoot.
is
Grisha
baby
did.
Zeke.
Yeah, exactly. There's a confirmation, but we do know that you know, Grisha did end up, you know, saving a lot of people from this plague.
That's true.
So who knows?
When he's in the walls of parody.
But anyway, so confirmation, boom. Zeke is Grisha's child. And Grisha has big plans for Zeke, and Zeke is
is
no
royal
doubt
blood.
in Grisha's heart will lead his people to victory.
He's got that royal
And,
blood in him. So we know that for sure that this Beast Titan has royal blood in him.
And Zeke did lead his people to victory many times. Whenever they went on to battle,
He did.
Yeah.
Zeke was an absolute incredible war chief.
He led his people.
Exactly.
His people to
Which,
battle.
in this point in time, are the enemies that Grisha is referring to. So keep that in mind. Again, a little foreshadowing there. But one thing that's interesting that Grisha says is he says, years pass by and people change. As the world around us rapidly advanced, a turning point came for the restorationists. Interesting. We'll find out what he even means and what he's referring to and who changed. What's the turning point? Doesn't sound very good for the restorationists.
Nope.
If I do say so myself.
Pretty dark foreshadowing.
We'll find out.
All right. So anything else we want to go ahead and kind of cover? Yeah. Any other thoughts you guys have for this little first act?
Grisha's got crazy riz.
Yeah.
He's also a bad dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Drake.
We'll see more into that.
All right. So this next part's going to be narrated by
Focusing
Lexi.
on the wrong kids.
Like Drake.
So Lexi, whenever you are ready.
We continue as a Marleyan soldier yells out to a group of Eldians.
Now listen up, you Eldians. We'll soon begin recruiting.
Grisha explains as he narrates.
The Marleyan government required subjects of Ymir to become Marleyan warriors.
Grisha and a hidden Dinah can be seen listening in this crowd.
Warriors capable of serving as vessels of the 9 Titans.
Time passes as Grisha informs his comrades.
We've received a new message from the Owl. He says the reason Marley's making these moves is to prepare for an anticipated struggle over resources. As military technology keeps advancing, Marley currently leads the world using the... Sorry? Marley. He says the reason Marley's making these work, okay. Marley currently leads the world...
Using?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it?
Marley currently leads the world using the power of its 7 Titans, but they may soon grow obsolete. An enormous cache of fossil fuel lies beneath parity. Marley can't afford to let it lie unused. But 80 years ago, the King of the Walls left behind this warning. If you ever interfere with our affairs, the millions upon millions of Titans sleeping within the walls will flatten the entire world. As long as he can make this threat, none dare to confront him, at least not directly. So, the Marleyan government has the same objective as we do. They'll try to infiltrate Parity and then seize the Founding Titan for themselves. Sorry, I had a little aneurysm there.
It's okay.
A little sick.
It was a lot. Comrade Grice asks,
What do we do with things as they are? Marley will get it before us. If they actually do it, we'll lose any chance we had of bringing Eldia back.
and Grisha responds,
It's bad, but we still have a path forward. I'll send my son, Zeke, to become a Marleyan warrior.
"Oh my god, bro!
Yeah, Zeke, big.
I'll
big
use my
aspirations.
human being son as a weapon for my agenda."
I'll use my pet sperm as a.
Yeah, my pet sperm will help us in my agenda.
This was the moment I was alluding to over in the first little act here, where we get our foreshadowing moment as he is talking about Zeke becoming this Marleyan warrior.
Yeah.
His young child has a couple different toys around him, but one he currently has in hand that he's playing with is it's a
sock monkey.
Toy of a monkey. Now we understand.
Little monkey.
He goes on to become this beast titan that is this beast form of a monkey. And
so keep in mind what toys you get when you're a baby, because that's your Titan.
I
did not play with any frog toys as a kid.
I had a lot of Lion King stuff, so that's pretty badass.
Yeah, lion.
Yo, what's up, Eddie? Hey guys, as of now I'm currently working and forgot my headphones at home and can't listen. But much love. We appreciate the message,
We're glad
Eddie,
you could swing by and say hi, buddy.
Go ahead, exactly. We hope that you're having a good day at work. And we appreciate you, man.
You do that job.
Do it.
You get paid. What a hardworking man.
Yeah. Some of the other toys I'm trying to think of, I know there was a horse and there was like a soldier. And I want to say there was like some sort of like cart or something, like a vehicle or something, or like some sort of wagon. And I
think you're right. I think it was like a little.
And thinking about that, I'm like, whoa.
Attack for
Those
soldier.
are all things that he ends up throwing or playing with in some capacity.
True.
Like we see him throw a horse. We've seen him go out there and be very playful with people. And as his monkey.
Playful is a way to say it.
He was playing with Mike, bro.
And then when it comes to, I guess wagons and whatnot and stuff, he
made the cart his bitch, bro.
Yeah,
you're following me wherever I go.
Yeah, he's got the cart.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. But I mean, those are all things that really kind of like signify like soldiers and whatnot and stuff, and just like, he has a lot of those. He has a lot of, followers and people at his disposal. Some of the similarities that we kind of, I guess, referenced to, not necessarily specifically talked about with Irvin, and how Irvin himself was kind of this war chief for the scouts, and then you have Zeke, who is the war chief for the people of Marley and the Titan warriors. But yeah, just interesting foreshadowing there. But to kind of go ahead and talk about now this Marleyan soldier who he's on stage. And he is talking to this crowd of Eldians, and he says, like, listen up, we'll soon begin recruiting. And that's when Grisha explains that, what are they recruiting for? Well, they need subjects of Ymir to become Marleyan warriors. Now, those are, again, the 9 Titans. That's kind of interesting. Now, I think that if they had it their way, they would want Marleyans to go ahead and take these Titan abilities.
Oh, yeah. Right? But they... doesn't seem like they can't utilize the Titan abilities like an Eldian can.
Yeah, which is interesting. Is that something that
the way the world works?
Is that something that we've talked about when it comes to?
I don't think we've seen that ever affect.
Yeah, because we didn't necessarily know that the Titan warriors were all Eldians. Now, I guess we kind of got a little bit of hints of it with Rhina and his family, because we understand Rhina is trying to go ahead and make his family proud, right? Because, they live over in Marley. They are Eldians, and, they just, Rhina very much wants to be in that Marleyan good grace. But we didn't really get any idea as far as any of the others.
I think this is their first time
the brothers,
in the anime.
The Galliard brothers.
Like seeing that you need to be Eldian to accurately, effectively utilize a Titan ability.
Which, I mean... I kind of want to go ahead and maybe even just kind of open forum talk about like what do we think would happen if, let's say, a Marleyan were to go ahead and try to take the ability of a Titan. Like,
I think they just stay in regular Titan form, and then the
I don't know.
Would it just kind of like
the warrior Titan ability just gets passed on,
to
maybe that's what
chosen Eldian person of Ymir's kind of choosing, I guess.
Maybe that's what abnormals are. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if that factors.
That's a great theory. That's a great theory.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of idea.
Abnormals might just be Marlians.
Just Marlians as
Because-
Titans. But I'm trying to think because we do see Eldians. I'm getting ahead of myself in the next. At the end of this episode that we're not covering, and then
They
next
turn
week,
into Abnormals.
and then they become the Rod Titan.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but he's an Eldian.
He is an Eldian himself.
He's just, there's just something wrong with Rod. But
Maybe
we
they
do
can't
see
become
Titans transform both at the end of this episode, episode 20, and in episode 21. We do see Eldians transform, and it looks like
Eldians or Marlians?
Eldians.
Okay, because we're trying to understand why.
And it looks like some of them may be abnormal, so maybe that's not an accurate theory that I have.
Okay, so as far as the abnormals, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just also be that strictly Eldians can become Titans in
Yeah,
general.
because of the ancestors that forged the whole path of the
Because
Titans.
it's obviously
Where's Josh?
spoilers and all that.
Josh, I need you to
I know,
fact
bro.
check us.
We need your lore, bro. But I mean, we know it's a DNA thing based on the spinal
Yeah.
fluid. Spoiler alert. But we know it's a DNA thing. So I'm assuming you have to be Eldian to be turned into a Titan in general.
Because we don't get. I'm trying to think. Do we have
Because
Marlians?
at the very, very
Becoming
end
Titans?
of Attack on Titan, the fumes, we do see fumes, and we do see Marlians don't transform
Yeah.
from those fumes. Eldians do. That's when
true.
that's when Jean and Connie
Yeah.
transform,
That's true.
and Jean's Titan looks freaking cool, even just as a normal Titan. But anyways, that's beside the fact.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
We do see that the Marlians don't transform, so maybe Marlians just don't have the ability to become a Titan.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can pull the room a little bit more.
Thank you. But maybe Marlians just can't transform into Titans. We haven't seen, for a fact that we know, we haven't seen a Marlian get injected, have we?
No, not that I know of.
Not that we like have actually seen.
Can
We see that those fumes didn't
Marlians
affect them.
become Titans? Only Eldians are capable of becoming Titans. Yep.
Okay, so that obviously makes sense as to why Marlians would choose.
Only Eldians.
Yeah,
So it's only Eldians?
it's a fact.
Yep.
Only Eldians can turn into Titans.
Okay. Interesting.
So
We got fact. There we
that
go.
is why.
That's something that was never really told.
Yeah,
to
I never
us.
really thought about that actually.
Yeah, we never got that.
But it's also because we do deal with majority of the story is
It's all
with like
just-
90% Eldians.
So Mikasa couldn't be a Titan if she wanted to be.
Wow, that's
Neither
true.
Oh my
Levi.
God, you're right.
Neither could Levi.
Wow.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Damn.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's fucking
It's
nuts.
a good thing
We
they never
just
had to possibly save them in the story.
We just got that realization.
Oh my gosh.
They never
We're
had.
still
They never
learning
had a
things.
round two. They never had a round two. There
Yeah,
was
they-
no respawn.
They would have never been able to come back.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I
They had no
never
clue.
thought about
They didn't
that.
even know. I doubt they even fucking knew.
Does that
Yeah,
mean
there's
the
no
same
way they
thing
knew.
for Kenny? Is that why
Yep.
Kenny was afraid to go and turn into a Titan?
Yep.
Because
Oh, he wouldn't have turned. Even if he did inject, he
Maybe
would not
he
have
did
turned.
know. Maybe he knew because he talked to the king.
yeah, maybe.
Oh.
And then he was friends with starts with the Uri. He was
Yeah,
friends,
Uri,
friends
yeah.
with Uri too.
Yeah.
Who had a lot of
Maybe it
knowledge.
was like, don't,
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
don't become a Titan.
So maybe
You're
he
Marlian.
You won't do it.
You can't do it.
You'll just blow up.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Wow, we're
You're
just
just
we're
injecting
just
yourself.
we're just getting that information.
Wow, that is crazy.
I could have sworn that I've had the impression that it could only be Eldians, and it was just like
I mean, we definitely
I never
got
put two and
it
two together
through the
that
story.
Levi and
Yeah.
Mikasa could never do it.
I think it's just one of those things where you get it through the story, but you're so focused on like all these other things happening
Yeah.
that you don't really get to play it out in your mind.
Yeah, you're looking at the big picture to focus on the little things like, oh, this person or this person can't do it.
So is there anybody
Dang.
else?
Big parody.
Is there anybody else that we have that we're like, wow,
Who's a
if they
who's
would
a
have turned, they
Marlian?
wouldn't have become.
Helmeppo. I don't know, just throwing names out there. Not Helmeppo. I'm thinking of
Oh, Onya Capone.
Onyaku. Thank you. I was thinking of
You're thinking
One
of One
Piece.
Piece.
Yeah. Onya Capone. Yelena isn't an Eldian.
Yeah.
She's Marlian, right?
Yeah.
Or Yelena, however you pronounce it.
Wow,
I mean, just throwing names out.
Literally.
But yeah, the biggest ones, yeah, Levi and Mikasa.
those are two huge characters. Where I mean,
Where we literally have theorized in the past about what.
I know, you're like, wow, they would look so. Yeah, what would their Titans be? They
Now we
can't
know.
even be Titans.
now we know.
That's crazy.
Wow.
It is very crazy.
Well, the realizations today.
I can't tell
are-
if I'm
So same thing
disappointed
even with the,
or
trying to think of so we have like Keith Sawdis on parody side, but then you have the other what's his name?
Is Moblet Eldian?
Moblet? I don't think
he's Eldian.
I don't know.
I don't think he's Marley. I think he's Eldian.
Is he Eldian?
Why? What makes you think that he's Marleyan?
I don't know.
Moblet?
Maybe he's just because we already have like the Ackermans are already in parody, so maybe there's other countries that have also
like,
come to parody.
The other.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. For Marley, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking Saver. It's not Saver.
No.
Saver is the doctor.
Yeah. I'm blanking on his name.
What the heck is his name?
Yeah.
Commander.
Him and Sawdis are the ones who end up,
They died in that train.
Yeah.
Together. They blew up in that train. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna look it up because it's actually gonna kill me.
It's starting to go ahead and really.
That's crazy.
So, but he's Marleyan. Mm-hmm. So obviously he wouldn't go ahead and be a part of, which is so crazy now to think that like these Titan warriors are literally like they're Eldian
Theo
children.
Magath.
That's what it is, or Magath or whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, Theo
Magath.
You're the guy who's that big nose. That's crazy.
But that's so crazy though, because it's like they're literally using these Eldian children to be their tools and their weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
Let's talk about brainwash. Like they're brainwashed to go
wait.
ahead and fight alongside them.
The Tiber family.
They can't become Titans, huh?
They're Marleyans, right?
They're Marleyans, right? They can't. But who is the Warhammer?
The Warhammer was.
Obviously, she was Eldian.
Yeah.
She had to be.
Yeah.
But she was part of the Tiber family.
I was gonna say, wasn't she a part of the Tiber family though?
Well, she's technically considered what?
Oh God, gotta do something.
Unless she is part of the family, as in maybe you get married into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn, that's so crazy. That's crazy.
So
Mikasa and Levi.
if an Eldian and a Marleyan had a baby, I'm assuming that child could turn into a Titan.
Yeah, I think as long as they go ahead and
As long as they have some sort of Eldian blood in them. Damn, that's
So
wild.
they live in Marley.
That's who she was lunch. Literally just for Aaron's doing. That's the person we were talking about with the Nutcracker. Yep. She was lunch.
She was a gusher.
Oh man, yeah, that's crazy. Now we can go ahead and kind of even thinking about like
The Tiber. Okay. The Tiber. Sorry to interrupt.
You're
The
good.
Tiber family is a house of Eldian nobles living in Marley as honorary Marleyans.
Got it. Okay,
So
that makes
that's
sense.
why.
That makes sense.
They're Eldians, but they're living as honorary
exempt.
Marleyans.
They got
And the
their
thing is
green
crazy is
Yeah.
that once we get to that point in the season,
Yeah, they got their
eventually-
green card.
Once we eventually get to that point, we're gonna
They're
go
just
ahead and get that
extremely
information.
wealthy,
Watch, we're gonna
yeah.
get that information and be like, that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
crazy.
says that they're just extremely wealthy Eldians. They're the nation's highest authority. Even though they are Eldian, they are the highly respected as the first Eldian family to fight against their own rule during the Great Titan War. Dang.
Very interesting. Wow.
Okay, so that makes sense then. I was like, wait, what about the Tiber family? Okay, they're honorary Marleyans, but they're actually Eldian. That's why they have the
Okay.
Warhammer.
Interesting. All right.
Whoa,
The
I
more
had
you
no
know.
idea.
It's always cool when you go ahead and you learn more about Attack on Titan. I love it.
That's crazy.
All
So
right.
many realizations today.
Yeah. Okay, so very cool. Anything else to go ahead and cover in this little second act here? I don't think so, but for the sake of it, let me go ahead and kind of look back.
Besides just saying again that Grisha's a bad father.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Besides that, we'll see more.
So
of that.
one thing that's interesting here is he talks about, again, they're getting information by the owl. Now the owl is informing them, and he says that Marley is making these moves to prepare for an anticipated struggle over resources. He says military technology keeps advancing. As he says this, we get like blueprints of like, I believe it's those actual
I think
giant
it's
aircraft.
the airships, the blimps.
That's not the blimps. I think now it's the actual ones with like the wings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's those aircrafts.
Like the carriers.
Yeah. And then it says Marley currently leads the world using the power of its 7 times. That's what I couldn't read for whatever reason.
Great job. He
But
got it perfect on
It
that
says,
one.
but they may soon grow obsolete. So in other words, he's talking about how, what was he saying here specifically? Marley currently leads the world using the power of its 7 times, but they may soon grow obsolete. That's interesting there. Trying to think about what he means per se over with those words. Over
in terms of like the Titans becoming obsolete.
He's essentially kind of saying that Marley currently leads the world with their 7 Titans.
He's talking about just in terms of military strength.
Okay.
In terms of I'm assuming that's pure combat strength. In terms of raw power, the Titans are right now unmatched.
Okay.
We haven't hit Oppenheimer level yet in the Attack on Titan world, where now everyone has their own portable colossal.
We do see that in the after credits.
It shows up at the end, but
There are nukes, but
And then he says an enormous cachet of fossil fuels lies beneath parity, and that's something that we learn later on with Mikasa's her family heritage of the
Ackermans.
Yeah, not the Ackermans. It is the it's the Asian side of family
The
that
crest.
she has.
Yeah. One's with the crest.
The other ones are over. They realize
remember
the
their name.
fossil fuels that they have there, and that these are the ones that what specifically did they go ahead and they are meant to use for? It's not just for their ODM gear. Like what is these fossil fuels used for again that they want to go ahead and acquire them for?
I think they wanted to advance their military as well, make airships.
I'm sure it's just overall industrialization.
I think they're talking about boats and airships specifically.
I think you're right. I think for whatever reason the boat sounds very
Because right now they're
Just
they're hitting
advancing
the
military
boom of their
technology.
industrial revolution right now. We get guns before the end of the series.
Yeah, true.
So they're getting pretty damn close to advanced weaponry.
Jacob says
Gas for a mecha Titan. Yeah, I mean,
pretty
if you
good.
become so advanced, Titan, you could literally just make giant. You could just make mechanical
The
Titans.
crazy part
Little
about
did
that.
we know AOT is just the huge prequel to Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, it's literally what it is.
The crazy part about that
They
is
were
that
the
we know
inspiration
that
for
as time
Gundams.
were to go ahead and continue to advance, let's say there wasn't ever the rumbling or whatever, then eventually there's going to be some sort of people that are going to create this whole mecha thing and create a giant ODM gear to fight against Titan.
Oh yeah, there's gotta. I mean, technology can only keep advancing.
Eventually, Ymir evolves into the Allspark and they become
The
transformed.
Allspark. Exactly. We get
The nuke radiation
there's
messes
a Megan.
with the tree
Peak
and
is
turns
Megan
them into-
Fox,
Yep.
and then
That's crazy. Buenos dias, Portugal from Megan
shit.
Fox would be crazy.
All right. So Grisha continues saying that Marley can afford to let it lie unused, as in they're just kind of just being there. And then he says, but 80 years ago, the king of the walls left behind this warning. He says, if you ever interfere with their affairs, the millions upon millions of Titans sleeping within the walls will flatten the entire world. That's another huge foreshadowing moment. And they continue saying, as long as he can make this threat, no one dares to confront him, at least not directly. So the Marleyan government has the same objective, and that is to get that founding Titan.
yeah.
Everybody wants the founding Titan. Now, we don't know who has it at this point. I can imagine it's probably the 145th
At this
king.
point, do they know that it has to be someone of royal family? Someone of royal blood?
No, they have to because they have Dinah. Dinah would give them that information. Okay.
And that's something, too, that actually that's a great point, too, because remember, was it earlier this episode or was it last week's episode where they talked, I think it was both. But, yeah, it was one of those things where they talk about how because they had this royal family member that they got information that they had no idea about prior, right? Essentially, along those lines.
Passing it down in that royal family, passing down the founding.
And then Grice, of course, is saying, all the right things. Look, as things stand, there's a good chance they're going to get it before us.
Yeah.
So if they do that, then we just lose any chance that we have of all these plans of everything wanting to get Eldia back. And Grisha's like, we have my son.
Yeah.
He
We're
will
just going to
become
have
a
to train
Marleyan
Zeke to
warrior.
become a warrior.
Yeah. And
Which he did become a great one, but
We should never learn.
bro probably had
Bro.
passions. He didn't have a chance to not be a great one.
Fuck Grisha. I'm mad at Grisha right now. I'm on my anti-Grisha wave.
I feel like the more we learn about Grisha, the more we realize.
The more we're like, this
Grisha
dude's a
wasn't
manipulator. This is a
necessarily-
bad guy.
Yeah.
I pushed my agenda on my first son, and he turned on me.
Yeah.
So what do? I unknowingly pushed my agenda on my second son.
There it is.
What happened?
But
My
this
second
time-
son
this
pushed his
time
agenda on me.
Yeah.
This time it's a legal binding blood contract.
Yeah.
And you're dead in 13 years, so make it count, buddy.
Yep.
From one errand to another.
Literally. Yeah.
Thorfinn. No, I'll pick Aaron on that one. You know what? Thorfinn, because Aaron killed 80% of humanity.
Do you want me to keep narrating on this next part? Or you got that.
I can go ahead and get this next part here.
Yeah.
He wants his flow back.
He wants to say the to be continued part,
He wants
don't
his
you?
flow back.
See, it's hard, man. Whenever you're not narrating, there's always like a stutter or a
For
slip.
whatever reason, my eyes would go ahead and go to the same sentence, and I was trying to.
Oh, when you're,
but
like, trying to
looping back,
read, and
it
you
went
just
back to
kept
the beginning.
looping
I'm
back.
like,
Instead of going or down to the left,
I'm
you
like
went straight
focused
left.
on the next
What's
line.
the next word?
You just keep reading
Line.
it.
What's a line?
Just
Yeah.
what was
Yeah, it was like his Marley, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was the it was your
Marley
long
Marley
one.
currently leads the world advancing. Marley currently leads the world advancing.
I was like,
Marley currently leads the world
Marley
advancing.
currently leads the world. Marley currently leads the world.
Yeah, you just kept saying it. I was like,
Marley's in the lead.
you got it.
We get it. They're in front.
We get it. And Eldia's around the back. Eldia's coming in closer. Eldia's getting there. Oh, we're getting to the finish line. It's going to be Marley. It's going to be Eldia. Who's
Yeah,
going to win? Oh,
the
my God.
narration slowly turns into like a derby race.
They just had the Grand Derby, whatever, recently. And I believe the one who won, the horse that won, I can't remember the name. I don't
Zeke.
follow it. Zeke.
Jaeger. Crazy enough.
The horse literally started the race.
The horse's
and
name was
went through
Friday.
The race in last place.
Really?
Last place, and then rallied over to go ahead and get first.
That's pretty
Great job.
badass.
Poetic. Great job.
Oh.
Good job, Gabi.
Whatever your
That horse right now is
Gabi did
Eldia.
one thing
name.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot. It's Jean.
It's John. John is that horse face, yeah. Good job, John. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and
Let's
get
continue
this
saying
final...
how bad of a father.
Damn it, Grisha.
All right,
But it's not even just Grisha. Watch.
So there's so much
watch.
more.
like just wait.
Just wait.
Okay, this is gonna be the third and final act that we have here to go ahead and cover and break down. And
Act 3. Ready?
there we go. We continue as we see Grisha forcing Zeke to understand the history of Eldia and how things work in this world, much like his father did to him as a young child. You see, Zeke, almost everything that you've been told by the Marlians was wrong, but you have to obey their every order, and you have to do it better and faster than anyone else around you. Dinah tells Zeke.
All of us are counting on you to save Eldia from disgrace.
A disturbed and trauma-filled Zeke answers.
Okay. I understand.
Zeke's face and demeanor is a spitting image of his father Grisha when he was that age, being forced to understand and obey the words of his father. Grisha narrates. But I should have known, better than anyone, what a wretched sin it is to impose your beliefs on your children. I saw him as a child of royal blood, as Eldia's greatest hope. But did I ever see him as Zeke? As the boy he was? At any rate, Zeke chose to protect himself, as well as his grandparents. We see a numb Zeke pointing in the direction of his parents, while his grandparents stare in disbelief, and Dr. Savior consoles Zeke by turning in both his naive, foolish parents to Marley Public Security. To be continued.
So when I first watched this, I totally thought, damn, Zeke, you're such an op.
Yeah.
Damn, Zeke, why did you do that? But you know what? Grisha kind of had it coming. Because like he said, he was like, I should have known, like, out of all people, I should have known what it is to impose your beliefs on your children.
Yep.
Because that's what happened to him.
Literally saw that in this same episode.
And like, what?
And what's fucked up is he has that realization and does it again.
Yeah. Like, bro,
Stupid.
you should have known.
Stupid.
He has his moments of, I say his moment of redemption when he is face to face with.
Yeah, when he actually comes back with Zeke and he's realizing how sorry he
it's
is.
too late. 80% of humanity's dead because of you, bro.
And that is the
We get that amazing voice acting.
That's the point where Zeke realizes, oh fuck, I'm not in control.
Yep.
Because when Grisha literally says, from this point forward, Aaron is gonna get every single thing
Yeah.
that he wants. And that's got to be terrifying for somebody who thinks they're the driver.
Yep.
That's like saying, dude, that steering wheel, that doesn't work.
That's like when you're taking your driving classes and the passenger seat is your coach, your instructor, and they're just like, hit the brake for you because you can't do it because you're
Like,
stupid.
anyways, I see
You're
those
not in
videos all
charge.
the time of those idiot drivers, like those idiot student drivers that totally don't know what they're doing. Like, there's a passenger crossing or there's a car in front of them and they're not braking. Like, why aren't you braking? What's going on?
Use your eyes, bro.
It bothers me so much, but I keep getting them on my explore page of just horrible drivers, and I'm like,
They're out there.
what? Who gave you a license?
Yeah.
What?
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of old people who shouldn't have licenses either, but
True.
that's just me.
Matter of fact, I mean, as a Marlian myself, there's a lot of Eldians who don't deserve to be on the road.
Yo, whoa, calm the fuck down. You picked your side.
Oh God,
I just want you to know.
He's voicing Grisha a bit too much.
I just want you to know. You picked.
It's the glasses. As soon as he puts on the glasses, he turns into Grisha.
Through, I know, bro.
But I do agree with Lex, though. And now we go ahead and we really kind of understand the characters a little bit more, and as we go ahead and really get an in-depth breakdown and
Now that we're doing a full analysis.
it's like, damn, Zeke wasn't really in the wrong.
Like Grisha said, like Grisha never saw him as Zeke. He always saw him as this
Eldia's greatest hope.
Yeah.
Says a child of royal blood.
Yeah. Instead of just a literal human being.
You're gonna get rumbled. Stay humbled.
But I mean, so Grisha, as he narrates to us, and again, I have said this before, I like to think that this is Grisha explaining to Eren, however Attack Titans do, about his past, his, shortcomings, his failures. And this is all stuff that, of course, Eren can go ahead and really kind of somehow cycle back through all these different timelines to try to, get it to where exactly he wants.
Yeah.
But the more I feel like with this, I like the idea of it because as the more Eren understands his dad, the easier it is for him to manipulate him.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think Grisha deserved
Is that not proof that
manipulation
Grisha's
he got.
a manipulator?
Yeah.
And so
The manipulator got manipulated.
Grisha's doing
outclassed.
to Zeke what Grisha's father did to
Get
him.
mansplained.
And what's crazy and what's ironic about that is that Grisha's father, Zeke's grandparents, they're both standing next to Zeke.
I know.
Yep.
And then of course we see Dr. Saver again. Dr. Saver literally, he's like trying to be this, I guess, parental figure, and is trying to,
And he does end up being
show
this
Zeke
figure.
that he's
We'll see
doing
that
the
later
right
on.
thing. Because we come to find out later on,
From
with
their
Zeke's story.
perspective, he is.
Yeah. From Zeke's story later on over in season 4, we understand, he's the one who kind of confided over in Dr. Saver. Dr. Saver is this kind of parental, role model that he has. And we'll get more information about that, later on down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This is the full episode of us getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes.
Yep.
Because everything references something else.
Exactly.
You don't understand. This is the episode that was the turning point.
Yep.
It was just
And
the world got flipped upside down for AOT with this one episode.
as a matter of fact, shit is even going to get crazier next week's episode.
Oh yeah.
Much crazier. But yeah, so obviously Grisha is narrating with remorse. Now Grisha and Dinah they're in custody now by the Marley Public Security, and we'll find out what the hell happens to them over next week's episode.
Yep.
Find out when we return.
Tune in
At
next
the
week
Talk
on
Tuesdays.
Yeah. So we'll be Thursday, guys.
Tuesdays.
I do want to, of course, say
Oh, hi, Zebra Cakes.
Supper.
Cakes, what's up?
Happy belated.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
What's up, Zebra Cakes? I hope you're doing well. And
Caught us at the tail end. I just want to say,
see you soon.
when listening to the dub,
Zebra Cakes, what do you think is the most gruesome death in AOT?
Yeah. What do you think, Zebra Cakes?
is it just me or does Grisha kind of sound like Lin-Manuel in the dub?
I don't know. I don't know enough Lin-Manuel
Yeah, I
to
don't
be able
know
to say.
Enough about Lin.
Hamilton?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah.
I just don't. I haven't heard a whole lot of it.
I know his style of songwriting.
It's just the voice for me.
It's like very slam poetry.
It could be.
Jacob's trying to say
Jacob's trying to
Aaron.
get
Aaron, say Aaron.
Zebra Cakes to say Aaron. But I mean, if you'll ask Zebra Cakes who their favorite character is, I mean, I'm sure Zebra Cakes will say Armin.
Aw. Putting her on the spot.
Yeah.
That's definitely not it.
Also, shout out to Zebra Cake's dad for hooking it up.
For the chamoy peach rings.
And I ran out.
Oh God, fatty.
That's crazy.
So, Zebra Cake says those are so nasty.
Those are so nasty.
And Jacob is glad that Zebra Cake said Aaron.
With the kissing emoji
Right.
too.
Yep.
Kissed him goodbye.
I think she did that just because I cosplayed as Aaron.
Just
one
as
time in
Armin
Halloween.
did.
Have fun chewing on pull tubes.
What? Featurings are good.
Yeah. She doesn't like
Kissed Aaron goodbye,
little
just like
fruit
Armin.
snacks and stuff.
I mean, Mikasa. I mean, what? You guys saw that edit?
But I do want to say real quick, this Sunday is Mother's Day. So
Yes.
shout out to all the moms
Go
out
support
there.
your moms.
And make sure you tell your mom
mother.
that you appreciate them and you love them, and even if you don't have a mom, just anybody that is, a motherly figure or just any sort of parental figure that you have, because Zeke's losing his mom and his dad literally as we speak.
That's crazy segue.
Gosh.
So
Way to connect it to
but
AOT.
I do want to say that Dr. Saver did celebrate Mother's Day with, or I should say, Zeke celebrated Mother's Day with Dr. Saver. So there you go. Zebra says, I literally don't have a mom. Thank you.
Oh, I literally don't have a mom.
Oh, it's okay. I could be parental figure.
Pool tube. Who's chewing on a pool tube?
She was saying that about peach rings.
About peach rings.
Oh,
Yeah.
you like eating pool noodles?
No, the pull tubes. I think because they're like maybe
Because they're like rings.
like the little pull.
Zach is a motherly figure.
Zach is a motherly figure.
Sometimes go do your fucking chores.
Go to your
But anyways, guys. So yeah, shout out to all the moms out there. But that's all we got for you guys in this episode.
That was
That's
crazy.
all we got. This is another episode of Attack Talk Podcast Season 3. Tuesdays. Attack Talk Tuesdays. Lo said earlier, Titan Tuesdays.
Yup. Very good, Lo.
So we will see you guys next Tuesday. And if anything changes, follow us over on Instagram, all that hoopla. You hear it every single week. But yeah, that's where you guys will get all your updates over at Attack Talk Podcast. All of our platforms are over in Linktree in our bio. Yeah, everything is possible because of not Aaron Yeager, but because of NatePlaysBad. That's right.
Right.
I may say Nate is our owl.
Except
Thank
we know
you.
who he is.
You're like, hell no.
Don't give him that power. What the fuck?
Hey, he
You
has
know
the
what,
power.
bro?
He has the power of the thumbnails. He's gonna choose a funny looking thumbnail.
Oh my god.
Wow. Thank you so much. Y'all look so good today.
Just today.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. As I'm making the stupidest
Thank you.
faces.
Thank you.
Thanks, baby. As in, you look good today.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
It's a good looking username you got there.
Yep.
I love cake. And I love zebras. That's great.
But yeah, shout
You know
out
what
to
I
Nate,
love?
the owl.
Prime energy.
Go support the owl. Go support him over at NatePlaysBad over on his platforms.
He's got a new place. Go support him. Go give him love.
There it
I got
is.
it all decorated.
As Jacob mentioned over in chat here, said he said code Lex, sorry. And he says F Prime as well. But yeah,
One of my friends is
Promo
sponsored
code.
by Prime.
interesting.
That's wild.
He's sponsored by Prime and
That's awesome. Does Jake Paul come to the matches?
what is the energy drink that like Addison Rae has her own flavor?
Can't say that I know.
It's
Don't know.
like I think it starts with an M.
You guys are like Gatorade made water?
What?
Gatorade made Gatorade water.
Interesting.
Ew. Well, more money.
Yep.
Alani, my producer, just let me know. It's called Alani.
Interesting. Never even heard of that.
So you are watching.
That's wild. Get exposed.
It's called Alani.
Wow.
He's also sponsored by Alani. But yeah, one of my friends is sponsored
That's
by Prime.
sick.
Very
Kind of
cool.
crazy.
That's dope.
Sponsored and exposed. We love it.
And
If you see Jake Paul, tell him that his brother's a fucking idiot.
tell them that they're both idiots.
True.
They're both rich.
But hey, get your bag. Get your bag.
It is. All right, guys. So yeah, shout out to Nate. Jacob said, code Lex. Use that code over to the online store that we have that's available for you guys over in the link tree. It is a code, or it's a link that'll send you to Fandomion.
Yeah.
Fandomion has a ton of stuff. We talked about it. Fandomion does not give kids cancer like Prime does, but allegedly.
I think everything gives you cancer.
You remember when you would
having your phone in your pocket gives you cancer?
Do you remember when you would put something in the microwave and you would go ahead and kind of get your face too close to the microwave, and then they'd be like,
I still purposely don't put my face near the microwave.
They'd be like,
so I'm like, the waves are gonna give me
they're
cancer.
gonna give you cancer.
Supposedly microwaves now are too modern for that, but
you never know.
Same thing with, okay, actually no, I'm gonna save it as my closing.
There you go.
That's
I
my
like
closing. Never mind.
But yeah, guys, go ahead and use that code Lex if you guys find something you like over in Fandomion.
Please use it.
Promo code
I'm
LEX
broke. Please
for
use the
10%
code.
off your guys' purchase order. And Lexi really desperately needs you guys to
Please use
it.
the code.
And if you don't, she's gonna find you and she's gonna turn you into the Marley in security police.
It's just 3 letters, dude. LEX.
Yep.
Just hit it.
Use
you
code
got
Lex.
it.
Gatorade over here. I like Gatorade.
I like Powerade.
You guys
too.
have a favorite Gatorade flavor? Everybody does, but
it's
I like the Glacier.
Glacier Freeze.
We can't all have the same one. I'll do grape. Fuck it.
Glacier Freeze is just so unmatched.
Ice even says blue, but what kind of blue?
What kind of blue? There's cool
like
blue.
a lighter blue.
There's Glacier Freeze blue.
Glacier Freeze is just. It's goated.
Baby blue. Yeah, Glacier Freeze.
Glacier
Those are
Freeze.
so good.
Yep.
And then the whatever
I've
the
got
blue one is for Powerade, that one's good too.
I've got an interesting fact
Okay,
now.
for the closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Light blue. So we're all in
It's
agreement.
got to be Glacier Freeze.
We all are in agreement.
That's the
here.
best
Glacier is awesome. I remember when I used to freeze Gatorades and sell them at the schoolyard because it was hot.
There you go.
I used to make bank, bro. I used to make like a $15 profit on each case of Gatorade.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. What happened? Grew up?
Yeah, I stopped going to school, bro.
Yeah, he's still a working man. Working a man
Blue
ever
Fire
since.
too.
I'm working a man?
No, working man. Working a man. He's still working a man.
It's crazy.
Working a man. You're still working a man.
Okay, I'm ready for my closing.
I know.
You're like, I'm not though.
Use the code, guys. LEX. All right, guys. So in closing, I want to say thank you guys so much. You guys are absolutely incredible. I'm so happy when you guys are able to join us live. And it really does make the podcast go by much faster because I can't stand being in the room with these two. I'm kidding. I love these guys very much, and I love you guys so much. And again, shout out to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. We will not see you guys over on Sunday. We will be with you guys over on Tuesday. AJ said what happened.
What happened? Ooh. Well, feisty.
A little bit of samba pati in closing. Boom, boom. Feel it, guys. As we get to this close, enjoy it, embrace it.
I'm feeling this fucking fact I have. It's just funny. It's not funny, actually. It's terrible.
We love it. And you know what? I'm gonna get to my close here. I'm gonna say there's times when we struggle, guys. There's times where certain things happen in life. A lot of shitty things, tragic stuff. But it's hard to go ahead and realize that everything happens for a reason. There are unfortunate lessons that we have to go through. There are unfortunate tragedies that we have to do to, to just grow as people. But like my girlfriend tells me, she says, always end your podcast with this. Remember, guys, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I love you guys so much. I made you your hosts. Spread the love and positivity. We hate, we love.
That's wild.
And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Happy Mother's Day. All right, who's up?
I'm gonna leave you guys with what was my fact? Oh, you don't need to separate your colors from your whites from your darks for laundry.
Nope.
You had to do that way back when, but now modern detergent doesn't bleed anymore. Just throw it all in a load.
Yep.
Just throw it all in one load. It doesn't matter.
Welcome.
It doesn't matter anymore.
21st century.
Thank you, technology.
Awesome.
I needed to hear this. All right, that's it. Thank you. Guys, have a safe
Giraffes
week.
are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than humans.
Oh.
Just saying. Have a great day, guys.
Those drafts. All right, guys. We love you guys. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.
And the oldest cat lived to be 36 years and 8 months.
Day.